It may not have been the prettiest. It may not have been the most textbook win as you draw it up for this New Jersey Devils club tonight, hosting the Montreal Canadiens. But a win is a win, and your New Jersey Devils defeated the Montreal Canadiens tonight at the Rock by a score of 5-3. And it's a good night, my friends. It is a good night. Win or lose, you all know this. Win or lose, we booze. Tonight, we're going back to the Dirty Devil vodka, the official vodka of the great Martin Brodeur. And tonight, that's because I'm feeling extra collegiate. I'm gonna do a little Red Bull vodka. But what a game! Devils win 5-3. Like I said, not the prettiest win, but a win is a win. And as I've said to a lot of you guys, throughout the season, yeah, Montreal is not a great team in the standings, but they have some top flight talent on their roster, and no one is laying down and dying. That is the reality. It is hard to win games in this league. It truly is. You saw the Devils had 2-goal leads, I believe, 3 different times in the game, and they couldn't just peel away. The Canadiens kept coming, and credit to them. They are a scrappy group. I feel like Newhook was freaking everywhere. Thorn in our side tonight. He was freaking everywhere. And if it wasn't for a huge Markstrom save, the game could have been tied late. It wasn't. The game was never. It was a tight game the whole way, and then thankfully we got the insurance on the empty net. But win or lose, we booze. Cheers to my Devils fans. What a beautiful victory. And your New Jersey Devils, don't look now. Your New Jersey Devils have won 3 of the last 4 games, back-to-back wins, and they will be looking for that elusive 3rd consecutive win on Saturday on Long Island against the Islanders in what I expect to be an absolute warfare, considering how the first matchup of the season played out a couple weeks back. We had the whole drama with McDermott, cracked Romanov, then he fought Mayfield, then Romanov hit Jack, and he had those comments after the thing. I expect that game on the island to be nothing short of a playoff-type atmosphere where there will be bodies hitting the floor, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a very physical one, and I'm really looking forward to it. And this team could hopefully string together their third consecutive win for the first time in a long time. And I feel good right now. I really do. Not all wins are going to be pretty. Tonight wasn't the prettiest one, but I will say I'm jumping all over the place. Sorry, guys. But cheers to all of you. Cheers. Thanks for coming out to the post-game. Quick bookkeeping to take care of at the top here. Shimo Nemitz has officially been sent to Utica. I wasn't sure if we were going to see this happen, if they had planned to work him back into a game or games at some point soon, or if they were going to have him kind of hang around the big club and practice and yada, yada. It turns out they want him to get those repetitions in the AHL. He's going to be in Utica, and, maybe he could help Utica turn around their god-awful season. They started off 0-8-1. Seamus Casey has 7 points in 5 games there, and now I'd have to imagine with Nemitz joining the Comets, they have to have 2 of the best defensemen in the entire AHL. I'd imagine both Casey and Nemitz are top 5 defensemen in the entire league. And so maybe that will kind of, spark the Comets to win some games and come out and dig themselves out of that hole. But an 0-8-1 hole is no joke. That is that's almost like season ending. But cheers to you guys. And I don't want to declare it just yet, but it seems like our boy Jackie's back. It seems like it. I'm going to need to see a couple more strong games from him, but Jack Hughes with a goal and 2 beautiful assists tonight, and doesn't show up on the score sheet for the empty net sealer, but he pretty much made that play happen. General Keefe trusting Jack out there protecting late leads with the empty net. Jack I think it was Matheson, kind of collided with them, and I thought there could have been a penalty. I was afraid the refs were going to call a penalty because Jack kind of hit him and kind of ripped him down, and the puck kind of skittered out of there. Jesper Bratt flew right up to it and was like, thank you. I'm going to deposit this bad boy into the empty net. And he just took it the entire way and wasted no time and just deposited that thing into the empty net. So they looked like the line we are all expecting. Palat, buried that beautiful chance in front from Jack. Great goal for Palat. He almost had a second one later in the game. Thought he could have buried that one. And for a 2-goal game from Palat would have been insane. And I texted my buddies right after the save was made. I was like, come on, guys. Did we think Palat was really going to score 2 goals in the same game? But, he has been periodically chipping in, playing with those 2 guys. And you'd like to see a little more from him. But for now, it seems like he's going to be playing with the big guns, Jackie and Jesper. And, props to him. He had some good scoring chances tonight. He buried that one. Jack was flying around, creating all kinds of havoc. That line was dominating all night long. Jack with a 3-point night. Jesper Bratt with a 3-point night. And you absolutely just love to see it. Overall, Siegenthaler, shout out to Siegenthaler getting his first goal of the season. I can't forget Siegenthaler. A lot of us, including myself, were down on him after last season. And this season, he might be, I guess, for lack of a better term, I'd call him comeback player of the year or, I don't know, revival player of the year. I'm not really sure, but he looks like a completely different player from last season. I know they referenced that he was playing hurt and all that, and maybe that really was the difference because he looks like a brand new player this year. He gets his first of the season in the second period. Obviously, I mentioned that Jack goal from Bratt was a beautiful backhand pass from Bratter to the streaking Jack Hughes. He buries that, and then Bratter takes care of business on the empty net. Overall, just a phenomenal night. Jack with a goal and 2 assists, Bratter with 2 goals and an assist, and the New Jersey Devils are just chugging along, starting to look more. Thank you, Zach. I just gave that most improved. Yeah, most improved would probably be the proper terminology. I guess if we're counting guys that weren't here last year, it would probably be Cotter or Nason when it's all said and done. But for guys that were here, I mean, wow, what a turnaround for Siegenthaler. I mean, listen, I'll be the first to admit I was severely down on him, as were most fans. We all saw last season, and it wasn't really pretty for most of the season. You would say that, he was the weakest link on defense, or at least one of the weakest links. And I don't know this summer if it was by complete chance that he wasn't dealt. Who knows if we were floating him around, because obviously Fitzy had it on the agenda to upgrade the defense. And I did believe going into the offseason that 2 of the 3 of Ball, Marino, and Siegenthaler we were gonna move on from them. And it turned out that Ball and Marino were the odd guys out. Siegenthaler was the remaining one, and I don't know if that was by design or just by kind of happenstance, if you will, with the other teams. But I couldn't be happier that he's still here. I mean, him and Kovacevic are, I believe, statistically might be one of the best top 5 pairing defensemen in the league. I forget, I saw it, but even the eye test tells you these guys are a shutdown pair. And I mean, Kovacevic, it is just a shocking story overall to see the level of success they're having as a pairing, because again, Siegenthaler, everyone, including myself, was down on him. He had a bad year last year. And then the pair of him and a guy that was slated to be the 7th defenseman that we traded a 4th-round pick to Montreal for. So a guy that everyone was down on and a lot of us wanted to see traded, with a guy we plucked out of seemingly nowhere for a 4th-rounder. And they are now combining to be one of the best defensive pairs in the league. I mean, wow. Talk about a stroke of genius for Fitzy. I mean, in addition to the other moves that were made, I can't sing his praises enough regarding the absolute amazing tinkerings that were done to this roster over the offseason. And we're starting to see it come together, guys. It's going to take some time. We're still nowhere near, prime time optimization of this New Jersey Devils machine. But every game, things seem to be clicking a little more. Jack is starting to fly around now. And, Markstrom, I thought, had a little, it wasn't a great game for Markstrom. I think it was a bad game. He made a couple of big saves. That one goal was kind of fluky. Dougie went to block it, and it popped up off his stick. Would like to see Markstrom be a little more solid back there, but a win is a win. The boys got it done tonight. The top guns are heating up. Jack and Jesper with 3 points apiece. And you absolutely love to see it. Siegenthaler getting his first. Curious, is it just me or is Dougie Hamilton very kind of apprehensive to shoot the puck? I don't know what it is. He had that one shot where he kind of crept in. I think it was on the power play and got off a really nice shot, but I feel like he's passing up chances to just rip bombs from the outside where, 2 years ago, he was routinely firing pucks from deep and looking for a tip or to hit a guy in front. Maybe I'm just imagining that, but would like to see Dougie start ripping it a little bit more. But overall, they found a way to win. The Canadiens, again, credit to them. They're not a great team, but they have some top flight talent. They play hard, and they didn't give up. Marty St. Louis is not going to allow his team to just dog it. And whatever it was in that last maybe half or so, maybe even less than the last 8 to 10 minutes of the game, they really seemed to turn the intensity switch up, and the game was getting very chippy in a one-goal game. They were throwing the body left and right. Some of our guys seemed a little bit surprised by it. We countered back with some hits of our own, but that late third period was a very, very chippy period, and that's what these boys need to be ready for, because we are indeed heavier, edgier, more violent, and teams are going to want to feel it. And so they want to come out and test it. The boys got to show them what we're made of. Show them what we're made of. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Ugly, but the 2 points count the same as if you won 10-0 and 4 Devil. You couldn't be more correct. You don't get more points in the standings for style points and blowing teams out. And so, yeah, while we'd always like to see, games like we saw against the Canucks, 6-0 drubbings, you don't get more points in the standings for it. It's still 2 points. So I will take it. Richard, a home W, absolutely. The Prudential Center has kind of been a house of horrors for this team for a while now, and it seems like, this is a step in the right direction. They got to just keep finding a way to win these games and make sure that they protect home ice, because my attendance record in the past 2 seasons is probably pretty terrible. Last year, I feel like it was extraordinarily bad. I'd have to go back and look through my tickets, but I definitely saw a ton of painful losses last year at the Rock. Great when you take the 2, got to clean up the D zone a little bit, but even better to see Jack look like himself. Yeah, some sloppy play in our own end again. It seems like that kind of, surfaces from time to time within a game. But Jack was definitely buzzing, generating chances left and right, and the young man finished with 3 points on the evening. Jack knew it was a matter of time. I was hoping. I think a lot of us, some of the doomsdayers in here were like, Jack sucks, and blah, blah, and, a lot of us are just like, it's coming. The elite Jack Hughes is still in there, and we're going to see him soon. And so far, he's been the last couple of games, it seems like he's getting back in that direction, but especially tonight, he really looked great. Gem card, not pretty, but we will take the 2 points. Jack bailed us out. He's a true franchise player on most nights, or more nights than not. Off to a slow-ish start. Hard to call, a point per game a slow start, but I think with the expectations he has for himself, as well as, most of the Devils fans, we want to see that 110 point-ish plus kind of guy. But, he score. I've said before, he scores in bunches, and he's the type of guy where he could get, 10 points over 4 games, or, 9 points in 3 games. And he had another 3-point explosion tonight. And hopefully he carries that strong play from tonight onto the island, because we're going to need it. That's going to be another good test. Again, the Islanders, not the greatest team ever, but they play hard, and they've seemed to give us trouble for the past few years. Ron, I'd love to hang around, boys. I've been up over 36 hours. Good night to you, Ron. I'm a little behind here. I knew Jack was going to pop off. Love to see it. Yeah, a lot of us were waiting for just what we saw tonight. I mean, I would have liked to see multi-goals, but I'll take beautiful assists. Those are points just the same, and he had 2 absolutely beautiful assists tonight. One to Bratter, one to Palat, and then obviously he had that really nice goal that Bratt hit him with the pass as he was breaking to the net, and he popped it up short side. What a shot. What a beautiful shot. Jack's best part of his game is dishing apples. Would love for them to get a real sniper to play in his line. And yeah, and I do think a lot of people were concerned about the top 6. heading into the season with the loss of Toffoli, and obviously Toffoli played with Jack for a portion of the season last year. And, Toffoli is indeed a finisher. He's a goal scorer and a finisher. And while I didn't want him back because of, the amount of money that he makes, I liked Toffoli, thought he was a pretty good player, seemed like a really nice guy. I knew with the amount of money he was going to command, it wasn't going to be worth the Devils to bring him back. But it would be really nice. It would be really nice if at some point, and again, maybe not this year, if we continue to go strong at the deadline, it's possible that, Fitzy looks to buy and bolster the roster at the deadline. But I do think an elite finisher on Jack's wing really is something that we kind of need. Can we still win games without that? Sure. But if you're looking like, where is the spot for real, true, like big time improvement? And I think we would all agree, or most of us would agree anyway, that, a winger that could finish for Jack would be high on the shopping list. And we'll see. You guys all know who I would want more than anything, but I don't know how realistic that, is at this juncture in time. James, very happy with the game Montreal came to play, and we did well. Yeah, Montreal was a tough opponent tonight. They certainly were not giving this game away to the Devils, and they fought back and just kept coming. The Devils had to weather the storm. There was a stretch, I think, of the second period where I was like, oh my God, like the ice tilted in their favor for a good stretch of the game, the second period. And I was like, oh my God, please don't, be one of these things where we see shades of last season creep back in, where in 3 minutes they just score 3 on us. But so far this year, it doesn't seem like this team, outside of a couple instances, and we saw it in the Calgary game, after they scored late, they followed up again. I don't think this team is going to have those meltdowns where they score, teams score 3 and 4 goals in 4 or 5 minutes. At least I hope not. Jay Snow, Toffoli lacks speed, but he could finish. Yeah, he skated. His skating was definitely not the best or the fastest, but if he got the puck in the right spot on the ice, he could definitely bury him from all over. And a lot of people keep bringing up LeBanc. Man, I would have loved LeBanc. I think LeBanc on Jack's wing could have been interesting. And if not full-time, maybe just situationally, or even just maybe on power play too. LeBanc was an absolute sniper for us in the preseason. It's a complete shame that, Columbus swept in and, got him. But it made sense for him. I mean, it is what it is. There was a little too much stuff that had to happen for him to sign with the Devils, and I get why he signed with Columbus. Zach, ready for the live stream, just left the rock. Let's go. Cotter is a true grinder. Come playoff time, he will be our 2000 Jeff Friesen. Whoa, Garrett. Let's not start throwing around Jeff Friesen 2003 comparisons. Now, listen, I would love nothing more than for you to be correct. And I think it is possible, but that is some very high expectations to place on this kid, because for those of you that are younger fans or newer fans, Garrett just referred to a playoff legend in the 2003 Stanley Cup playoff run. Jeff Friesen was an absolute beast for the New Jersey Devils, scoring timely goals left and right. Scored the game-winning goal late in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals to get the Devils to the Cup Finals. And I just want to see something here. But 2003, Jeff Friesen was absolutely magic. I'm just looking for the I'm curious to know where are the freaking stats here? Playoffs. Yeah, 14 points for Jeff Friesen. He was 4th on the team. 14 points, and a lot of them very big points in that beautiful 2003 Cup run. But Garrett, let's just calm down. I would love for you to be correct, but that is some awfully, high expectations in my opinion. What a game, Aaron. What a game, Ace. Big night for Jack. Absolutely a huge night for that young man. 3 beautiful points. Brendan, wasn't the prettiest game, but we won at home. That's what matters. Let's go. Absolutely. Win the game. Not the prettiest. It wasn't the ugliest. Move on to the next and hopefully play better on the island. Devils win. Rangers lose. It was a good day, John. Yes, it is. I didn't even see. What was the final score of the Rangers? Let's see here. I have like 17,000 tabs and windows open on my computer. Shit's crazy. Oh, wow. A 6-1 thumping by the Buffalo Sabres. Wow. Oh, my God. Who was in net? Was it Shesterkin? I got to see this. Wow. Shesterkin gave up 2. Oh, no. Shesterkin gave up 5. Holy shit. I guess he got pulled. Shesterkin pulled in the second period, and then Quick gave up 1. Wow. You love to see it. One more win, and that's 3 in a row. Absolutely. Obviously, this is that third consecutive win has eluded us for such a long time. This Devils team could not get it together in Calgary to get us the third win. So here we are again, another crack at the third consecutive win, and how beautiful it would be to get it on the island and then returning home with a chance to make it 4 in a row against the Sharks. I really hope we see it, but that's going to be a big, big game on Saturday. I'm pumped up for it. Poor Rags fans feel bad. Bad game by Igor exposed them completely. Igor Merchants. I mean, listen, Shesterkin, as much as it pains me to say, he's one of the best goalies in the world. I mean, that is the fact. And even the best goalies in the world have bad nights sometimes. Rangers spank, Devils win. Victory Beer's got some extra hops tonight. Well, tonight I went with the tonight I'm going with the Victory. Wow. The Victory Vodka Dirty Devil, the vodka brand of the great Martin Brodeur. Delicious. Pairs beautifully with Red Bull. Traveling Devil, what's going on? Weeks posted 11.5 mil. I think that's in reference to Shesterkin. I feel like I should make a comment about Buffalo is not a playoff team, so it doesn't count. I don't know why, again, people get caught up in this. Buffalo might not be a playoff team, but they're definitely not a trash team. I mean, they have good players too. No one's giving games away in this league. And for, a bad non-playoff team like Buffalo to put a thumping on the Rangers is pretty wild. Jack, is that supposed to be Jack Hughes fan? You're missing the H, my friend. You have Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes fan. I was there. I'm assuming you meant the game tonight. Very cool. I thought about going, but I decided to enjoy this one from the comfort of my own home. Gem card collecting. Rangers got smoked, but wait, it gets even better by the Sabres. Listen, Lindy's out there doing God's work on some nights. Jesse, it's a good thing we traded Jack and Brad and fired all the staff because now we are finally winning. Amagi, I was at the game and lost my voice nearly. Oh, Amagi, where were you sitting tonight? Were you on the glass? What club were you in? When I grow up, guys, I want to be Amagi. He goes to 80% of the games. He tours all the different clubs, eating the finest cuisines, drinking the finest liquors. We score, you pour. I like that. Oh, Chico. I like it. Where's John Woodson? Where are you, punk? Doom to my face about Jack Hughes' best game. Chico, well played, baby. Oh, that's why I love you guys. I forget about all the people that need to be called out, but it's a good thing I have you guys. This is what you guys do best. Call out the nonsense. John Woodson obviously is part of the Doomsday nonsense. And I'd imagine he will be nowhere to be found tonight on this live. But shout out to you, Chico, for throwing it out there. But if we say his name a couple times, he might show up. I don't know. We'll see. Don't ask for it, Chico. It's nice not hearing from them. Nice, Chico. Jersey Roots, how you doing, Paisan and all the other Devils Barbarians? Victory! Victory, indeed. Beautiful night. But yeah, the Doomsdayers are awfully quiet. The Doomsdayers are either in bed or I don't know where they are. Montreal's not a playoff team, so it is a cheap win that doesn't count, etc. Okay, so for Devil, I know you're a level-headed human being, so you're being sarcastic. You're talking about the rhetoric of the Doomsdayers, which seem noticeably absent tonight from the party here we have going on. Noticeably absent are all of the Doomsdayers across the board. If we do a roll call, I don't think there's a single one of them here tonight. And I'm starting to think these people might be Rangers fans that are trolls. I don't know. John Woodson is trash. Win or lose, we booze. Can we say definitively Jack is back? Troy Machine, I'm not going to say definitively, but it certainly looks like it. 1 or 2 more strong outings from him, I'm going to say he's back. But he was out there flying tonight all over the place, making shit happen. A goal and 2 assists. He could have had a couple others. I think he set up Cotter with a really nice one. A couple other chances. He definitely looked like the Jack of old. And by the Jack of old, I mean the 22, 23, 99-point variety of Jack Hughes. And hopefully we see it again, or we keep seeing it for the rest of the season. Jesse, they played hard. This was a good win playoff team or not. We were winning. Absolutely. There's no easy wins in this league, guys. This is the NHL. People don't know how to watch a game and read a roster anymore. The Habs have a bad record, but talent on the roster. A lot of the bad teams this year are just like that. Really no tankers yet. Yeah. It's still early again. Would I predict they're going to be in the playoffs? Probably not. But what you saw the talent they have. I mean, it's not easy to win games in this league. It's really not. Outside of, last year, there's a couple teams that were like historically bad. I think the Sharks last year were like really, really bad. I remember watching the Devils when they're, the roller coaster of a season we're on last year. I think we thoroughly handled them. And I was like, oh my God, like I was happy for the win, but I was like, I think it was more of a function of like that. The Sharks really are that bad. Love the win. Really wish our fourth line was a bit better. I mean, listen, I'm not going to complain. McDermott didn't seem like he was out there. Let me see. How much time did McDermott get tonight? It couldn't have been a lot. Oh, I got 6:24. Okay. More than I would have guessed. And in that 6:24, McDermott had 3 blocks and a hit. Okay. 3 blocks and a hit. And Nico was killing it in the dot on the dot here. Nico, where is it? 61.9% faceoffs. NHL.com, their stats suck the way it's set up here. 61.9. I wish I could see what. I got to find another site for a better breakdown. But Nico, 61% on faceoffs. It's a solid night. They didn't fold when it got close. Should be something to build on. Yeah, and they're going to have to get comfortable in these playoff tight games. And that third period today definitely played kind of like a playoff game. A lot of aggression, a lot of intensity. Canadians looking to make things happen. Win or lose, we booze, always. So it's not like we're dunking about beating the 14-15 Sabres the Habs are trying. Yeah, I mean, listen, Caulfield, Caulfield, they have good guys. And Montembeault is no slouch. I think a lot of people thought he had a chance to crack the Four Nations face-off roster for Team Canada as well as the Olympics. He's no slouch either. Jack is back. Just ask my shine box. Bad teams are always really good at playing spoilers. The Jack Hughes line was absolutely buzzing. He was flying around, generating chances. Couldn't agree more. Jack was everywhere tonight. Is it just me, or does the third line leave something to be desired defensively? I will say, David, that on the, I guess it was the third Montreal goal, Haula got complete. He just looked awful. He was one-on-one, and he just kind of was like frozen, and then the dude just went right around him and flew to the net. And I was like, Haula, what the hell are you doing? I don't think he expected the guy to kind of step on the gas as he was accelerating towards him. But I remember thinking to myself, like, Haula, what the are you doing there? Like, he did not look good whatsoever. And I'm sure that's going to be an element they talk about when they go over film, because he definitely did not look good on that play. The refs almost made us lose this game. Remind me of that Leafs game last year, disaster. They missed a big call. Could have been an interference or something on when Caulfield hit Timo kind of in the mouth area. Timo was pissed. I thought Timo was going to kill him. We did get a hooking call. I believe someone hooked Pesci a couple minutes later. So we ended up getting another power play. But towards the end of the game, I thought there was a lot of plays that could have been penalties. And it was pretty wild. Like and subscribe, you dirty animals. Thank you, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Can we get a thumbs up in here on a Devils victory night? Cheers. Let me get a little like over here. Refs put the blinders on tonight. I think at times they probably did. Bratter is my hockey hero. Of course, Jack getting all the love, but let's go Devils. Now, Bratter, listen, nothing but love for Bratter on this channel. I have sung his praises for quite a while. For a long time now, I've maintained that he has been our best and most consistent forward for the past few seasons. And I believe that that's really the case. What's going on, Maria? Just got back from the game. Jack's line, that peanut butter and jelly. Oh, it's so sweet, that peanut butter and jelly. When it's firing, Jack to Jesper, Jesper to Jack. Just two highly skilled playmakers making shit happen while wearing Devils jerseys. And listen, guys, the Earth is however many hundreds of millions or billions of years old, and you were alive to watch Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt together on the New Jersey Devils. I mean, how fortunate are you guys? Caulfield with an edgy hit on Timo might have sold it a bit too. Yeah, but Timo looked legitimately pissed. I thought he was going to go after him. He was really mad. And at first, it was kind of behind the play. So on TV, you didn't see it right away. And I think Dano and Spalding were like, oh, it may have been a high stick. Then they rolled it back, and it was kind of like an aggressive, kind of like a shoulder kind of situation. But Caulfield thought he was getting popped to the penalty for sure, because you saw his face. He was like, oh, shit. Luckily for him, he didn't, but it didn't matter. Jack was awesome tonight, out of respect for his father. That's a great photo. Chrissy Moltisanti with the neck brace. Oh man, I can't go on more Sopranos tangents. It seems like there's always Sopranos tangents in here. PB&J was buzzing tonight. Absolutely. Jesse, the refs, they only knew how to call hooks tonight. That shit was crazy. Black Atron, hot take. That shouldn't be a hot take. Dougie Hamilton doesn't fit into this new system. I'm still going to give Dougie some time. There was a couple kind of plays tonight where I thought he could have crushed a guy, and again, he, for whatever reason, decided to glide into them, or not really smash them as much as he could have. I'd like to see him get way more physical. I'd like to see him start ripping shots from the point more as well. But maybe he's one of those guys that it's going to take him some time to fully adjust to the Keefe system and what's being asked of him. Dougie needs a lazy boy on the bench area. Do you think Dougie fits the new system? Markstrom had a somewhat rough game. Yeah, it wasn't his best game, but he did make a couple really big saves, including one late when we were only up by one. It would have tied the game. I said it last stream. Jack Hughes was a couple bounces from being a point per game, and now here he is basically back at a point per game. Yeah. Jack and Brad are the fastest, most skilled duo in the offensive, in my opinion. Wish it was a trio. Was a great game, and props to Monty for some 6 saves. Yeah, it would be nice if we had a third kind of dynamic player on that top line, but for now it's going to be Palat, and hopefully he can continue to contribute from time to time as well, because those guys are going to get him some pucks in decent areas. He's going to get his chances. It's impossible not to get chances when you're playing with those guys. My mouse is acting crazy. Bear with me a second here. Caulfield looks like he's 5'2" on the ice. What is going on? Yeah, I'm curious to see how the what the goaltending split is going to be, for the next couple weeks, because we're definitely going to see Allen again with this Saturday, Sunday. So I'm curious what game in that situation are they going to give is Allen going to play on the island, or is he going to play against the Sharks? I'm curious what you guys think about that. Caulfield, because we know Markstrom's not getting back-to-backs. Caulfield looks like he's 5'2" on the ice. Dougie's not the same, but that can change quick. Yeah, it can. And I'm not writing him off just yet. I think he's too good of a player, and he's shown, what he can do. I do fear that maybe he will never be fully the same after that injury. A lot of people have talked about how that type of injury that he sustained was is hard to come back from. But, maybe it's just one of those things where he's, over time, he's going to look better. Dougie just looks lost out there. It's kind of sad. Like I said, Caulfield, like I said, couldn't shine my shoes. I was at the game saying he was playing better this year, and he scored 30 seconds later. Yeah, Zach, I think this is it. Dougie's still finding his stride after a big surgery. I just think, and maybe it's a type of thing where he's never fully the same. Siegs, I was disappointed by last year, but wasn't ready to give up on him. This year is a huge make-or-break season for him. Unfortunately, it's a similar situation we saw Ty Smith-Phelan. I mean, so far, Siegenthaler looks like a beast. Markey wasn't standing on his head, so his number sucks. Still gets a win. Better hope Dougie finds it. He's making $9 million. He's a bad defender. Yeah. Siegs got scared this preseason and started to play like he should stay in the lineup. He was probably a country clubber last year. Probably partly that, and partly he was legitimately injured. But I do think he was playing like his career, or at least his time in New Jersey, depended on it. I mean, he was hitting guys earlier in the season, sealing guys up on the wall, just looking like a completely different player. Siegs, again, I think stylistically he needs to be with another defensive guy like Covey. I just don't think he can quite handle doing all the defense like he has to do with Dougie. And I think that's a fair point. And I've said that about other defensemen as well. A lot of these guys will look much better with another more stay-at-home defensive-minded defenseman. And I think, Siegenthaler is one of those guys as well. If you don't have to constantly be covering for a guy that's pinching or, wandering up deep into the offensive zone, if you're both more of guys that tend to stay back, it's going to help you overall. And Siegenthaler at times last year was kind of running all over the place. I know we need Dougie to be that dude. I don't know. The pec muscle might be messing with his shot. I think so too. And you don't see him rip a lot of slappers. Like, 2 years ago, he'd be ripping slappers from everywhere, especially on the power play. He would just wind up and hope something happens. And we're just not seeing that shot frequency from this year. He's always looking to pass. I think it was on the power play. He did creep up into the slot a little further, and he did take a shot, but it was more of like a snapshot than like a wind-up, vintage Dougie bomb. And I hope he's not still injured because that would suck. One thing I will say is that there's more to a player than points. Just like McDermott provides few points but brings physicality and momentum, Palat is a huge forechecker, puck retriever. And to your point, Brendan, Palat does do some decent work along the walls here and there and will win puck battles. I do think you have a point there, and he's definitely been in on a forecheck that kind of either directly or indirectly led to a goal on the season. I think for the money we're paying him, obviously a lot of people want to see a lot more than that type of stuff from him, and a lot of people are going to judge him on pure point production, but that is fair. He is doing things that don't necessarily show up on the score sheet or that people are always going to kind of, take notice of. And another great point here is he worth $6 million? No, of course not. But he's better than people make out. Yeah, I mean, you could do worse. The $6 million is obviously, a very painful thing to absorb. But Jay Snow finding a way to complain. Yeah, Dougie sucked. What's going on, Walt? Just got in. Got to say, as much as people whine about Jack not scoring enough for them, he's still setting up goals left and right. Even if he isn't on the score sheet, he's always a factor. Well, tonight he was flying, Walt. He was flying and did get on the score sheet. 2 beautiful assists, a really nice goal. Love to see it. Him and Brad are both big nights. Where's the Jay Snow? We all know. Ryder running. Oh, yeah, Rich. I wanted McDermott to bury that one chance in front. Yeah, it was so close. It was so close. We would have had a parade for Big Curtis. He's going to get one eventually. He's eventually going to get one. I'm cheering my ass off for Plot, not just because he's a devil, but cynically, every point he gets makes him more tradable if we have to. Chico, I can't see it happening, man. I think if anything, it'd be a buyout candidate in the offseason. I just don't see the trade thing being realistic, but who knows? Markey was coming in cold, but so much season left, and it only matters that he heats up by postseason. Yeah, I don't like the 5 days off, 5 full days off in between starts for Markstrom. And I'm curious to see how we kind of handle the games coming up because Markstrom's only going to play one of the next 2. So he's either going to play Saturday on the island or Sunday at home against the Sharks. And then we have 3 games in Florida, which, again, in my world, they would all be Markstrom games. But I don't think we're going to see that either. Unfortunately, the starting goalie in the modern NHL is quite a far cry from, the the great Martin Brodeur era. And I'm not saying he's got to play, I want guys to play 78 games like Marty did, but I don't think 60 games is going to be a workload that's going to kill a goalie. But, the math nerds act like it will. Dougie's still healing. It'll come. I hope you're right. Zach agrees. Dougie has a nuke. He just doesn't use it anymore. Yeah, and I hope he still has it, and it's not a product of, something with his injury, with the pec muscle. Zach, I feel like Luke Hughes is still recovering too. Ace, thoughts? It's hard to say. I think more so of anything else with Luke is that Keith told him that his pond hockey shit's not going to fly. I mean, I feel like you haven't seen him pinch nearly as much or, be roaming around the back of the goal and our offensive end. Like, he used to take a lot of chances, and I feel like, he's been instructed that, that's got to, if not come to an end, it's got to be far less frequent than what we saw last year, because obviously, last year he was freewheeling all over the place, and tons of times it would end up in goals against. And I think he's, more so than recovering, I just think it's him getting acclimated to being way more defensively responsible and not just going balls out trying to create offense, which in turn causes us to give up goals. I think that's kind of what it is. I brought up because I brought that combo up about how about you make a comment on every negative post you play nice, kids. Play nice. Montreal's looking to bully out a win. Can't blame them. It works for other teams. Yeah, they definitely tried to bully out a win. And, it has been effective for other teams. The Devils have to be ready for that. I want the Devils to be the aggressor. I want them to be the bullies. Chico, ugly win in a vacuum, but you have to compare it to the last couple of home efforts as trending upwards. Absolutely. This is a crazy question, but do you think if we're in a playoff position come deadline day, we trade for a goalie? No way, man. That is a crazy question. No way we're trading for a goalie. Absolutely not. I hope we trade for a top 6 winger, if anything. McDermott almost buried one. That'll be great. It will be a very fun party here for Curtis McDermott when he gets his first goal. Gamer XD. Hopefully we can win a lot more at home. You ain't kidding, man. I'm pretty sure Dougie's pec muscles separated from the bone. He's not 100%, and he may never be. Yeah, I'm afraid that could be the case. He's taking it easy. It's a long season. Still doesn't excuse his defensive play, though. Love the room. I don't know what that means. Not concerned about Dougie yet. He's coming off a pretty serious injury and surgery and has to get back in his groove. Give him time, and hopefully he gets back to his old form. I hope so. But you're talking about, how long he got that surgery? Like, a really long time ago. It's like, if he's not recovered by now, I fear that, this is as recovered as you're going to get. I could be wrong. I totally could be wrong. Prime 4867. Plot has turned it up a notch, finally gelling with Bratt and Jack. And I'd hope so. I'd imagine most guys in the league would saw off one of their legs to play on a line with Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt, because they are both, elite playmakers. Dougie is playing horrible defense every time he's out there. They are scoring. I don't know about every time, but I want to see him start hitting people, though. My God, he's a massive man. Don't let that size go to waste. Let me see. What is it? What was Dougie's? It was a -1 tonight. Okay. A -1 on the season. Rich, the team is 500 times more resilient than last year. It's nice to see them hold up to pressure and finish the game off with a W in regulation. No, absolutely. Last year's team, obviously, we all will never forget a lot of the characteristics of that team. One of them being when teams kind of punched us in the mouth, we kind of laid down and died. And tonight definitely could have been one of those games where, once Montreal got back within 1 and just kept kind of coming in waves, that the Devils would have just folded up and collapsed and blew the game. But I do think there's enough guys in the room that we have now, and the roster we have now, that will prevent that. And hopefully that is the case. You have to be able to withstand pushes from the other team, and especially in the playoffs. And no one's just going to give up. You're not going to be able to run away with every game. Not every game is going to be a 6-0 Canucks beatdown. And there he is, John Woodson. Tonight was exactly what Palat needs to be for us. Defensive-minded forward who battles for pucks along the boards in the offensive end. That's definitely not what I was expecting from John, but I'm sure we'll see. We'll get to some more juicy quotes in a moment. Jack did great today. He took shots and didn't pass as much as the last few games. Our power play kill at 83%. Nice. Love you up. Jack was good tonight because the Canadiens gave a football field of open ice. I mean, I don't know about that per se. I mean, was there a football field of open ice when he dangled through a bunch of Canadiens and fed Bratt for that first goal of the game? I didn't see a football field of open ice there. Did you guys? I think John might be imagining things. Dougie is allergic to putting his stick on players in front of the net. Clearly, his telekinesis isn't back to 100% either. John Woodson, you did not watch the game if you think that's the case. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder as well. I mean, I don't know. At what point did Jack have a football field of open ice? I didn't see that either. Jack deked in the closet for that second goal. Oh, boy. Would you trade a first, Mercer, and Nemitz for Brady? Yes, I would. Montreal sucks at defense, Chico. It's not a secret. Okay, great. But again, you discredit. Who do you want these? What does Jack Hughes have to do? He has to have a hat trick against the Rangers and then 4 goals against the Panthers? Like, John, get out of here. Montreal sucks at defense. That first goal of the game, he literally dangled through their entire team and got the puck to Brad. Come on, man. You're being ridiculous now. The hatred is just absurd. Our power play, our penalty kills at 83%. Like to see our power play get a little better. Jack was battling tonight. That's why he did well. Always an excuse from Woody over here. First Mercer and Nemitz for Brady. I would do that. I just said that. Damn, man. Seems like you never wear the same gear twice. You've got a lot of devil stuff. Oh, Joseph, I do wear the same. I mean, I do have a lot. But I try to rotate it a little bit. But I've been roughly the same size for my adult life, or actually even I would say since I was 16. And so I have some vintage pieces, and I would consider myself a merchandise hoe. I'm constantly buying merchandise, and I love it. I have a disease. I definitely have a huge Devil's wardrobe, I would say. I was really big on the bank. Sucks that it worked out that way. It really did. I was in Philly when he got that hat trick in the last preseason game. His shot is just lethal. And I think a sniper like him on our power play could have been really nice. Love that Keefe said he hated our entire game. It was very sloppy for a lot of it. Bending without breaking gives you confidence in winning. I agree with that. Toffoli is garbage and the bank is garbage. Come on, Art. They're not garbage. Jack Hughes fan just left the Rock and Erdy on the stream. How far behind am I in here? Oh God, I'm still far down. All right. Marshall to Friesen. What a beautiful Game 7. Last time I checked, Jeff Friesen didn't get a vote to become president. I think I saw that headline that someone wrote in Jack Hughes. There's not one Madden or Friesen on this team. Stop. I thought Markey was off in the first 5 minutes. He did well enough. I could agree on that. Yeah, well enough. Plot worth his salary now? No. John Woodson, get your shine box. Yeah, you guys. Some of you guys are hilarious. Oh, if Palat plays like tonight, every night he's worth his contract. Do you mean if he scores a goal every game and had 82 goals? Yeah, I would say he's worth $6 million as well, John. Man. Pally earned his entire salary Game 7 versus the Rangers. Leave him alone. Yeah, playoff moments, man. Big playoff games, big playoff plays could really, again, I don't know if it could necessarily justify a salary, but it could make it a lot more tolerable. I'm calling it. They're going to beat both the Isles and Sharks and then lose that first game versus Florida before bouncing back for the second. Victory shots. Vodka plus Red Bull equals heart attack. My sarcasm doesn't work well in a chat. Well, sometimes the takes in here are so ridiculous that it's hard to tell if people are being sarcastic or if they're being real. And then I have to try to remember, whose screen name is what. That's the only way I can remember is situationally. if I, remember the person's name who's saying the comment, then sometimes that'll help me decipher whether it's sarcastic or not. But in a vacuum, some of the takes on here are so just completely over the top insane that I can't tell if people are being serious or joking. Been putting a dent in my Tito's. Nice. Jack Hughes is better than Jack Hughes. Like I said, John Woodson, go get your shine box. Superstars usually have more than one good game per month. Aaron, seeing Jack skating the way he did from the second row, he's incredible. That first goal was beaut. Yeah, absolutely. Doomsdayers are pissed because the Rags got spanked. Jackie boy back. He's looked okay, but now I'm seeing flashes of his former self. I'm drinking some Larceny small batch. Nice. Very nice. What time is it? Oh, it's only 11:06. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. This is the first 7 o'clock game, I guess, in over a week, right? Yeah, the West Coast was getting me all messed up. I was thinking it's gonna be crazy late. This is the East Coast. I forget. We're home, regular time. SST no show. It seems that way. It seems that SST, who may or may not be the president of the Doomsdayers, I'm not sure. He's definitely one of them, but noticeably absent as well. Jack Hughes fan changed his name to Jack Hughes fan. My estimation of John Woodson as a Devils fan just plummeted. What are they, 4-1 with McDermott? Another night where I thought he was fine, especially with a slap together fourth line. He clearly brings something. Keep him in. I have no anything to say against that. You guys know I love McDermott, and I'd like to see him in most games. Dooms, one game and Jack is back. I thought Bratt was better. He was the play driver. Some things I want to see is Palat getting puck up to the ozone and then parking in front of the net to finish for Jack. Also more Dougie bombs. Definitely like to see more Dougie bombs. The Sharks are really, really bad. Have you seen who their goaltenders are? Yeah, of course. They have the Vanacek-Blackwood tandem, Frank. But I was talking about, I think they're going to be better this year for sure than they were last year. I remember last year watching them when the Devils were playing them, and I was like, oh, my God. They looked like they were a team from, the AHL. Saying the AHL may have been kind. It looked like the Devils were playing an ECHL team. They have been a much scrappier bunch this year. And again, just because of the Sharks, they're not going to, and with all the former Devils on their team, when they come in Sunday, they are going to want to win that game badly. Chico, the entire fourth line is hurt right now. It's a break glass in case of emergency line. With that context, I thought they were fine. I want to see Mac with Lazar and Bastian, though. Well, listen, I think Lazar is out for a long time, and I think Bastian's going to be out for a good amount of time as well. Big Mac almost had one besides Markey. No one else probably deserves one more. Oh, man, I can't wait for the first Curtis McDermott goal. And I know Traveling Devil wants to see one really badly as well. I think I'm gonna do a refill. I think I'm gonna do a little refill. The ice ball hasn't fully melted yet. Still got, still got a little bit of it. Cheers to my Devils brethren. I'm just scanning some of these comments here. VTech, besides Mark, no one else probably deserves one more. Yeah, Markstrom, man, he was so close earlier in the year. I would love to see Markstrom score a goalie goal. That'd be insane. David, VTech getting the start tonight in San Jose after a record high 50 saves that gave the Sharks another win. I still root for him. Post Rogalski bounce, had to say it. Yeah, I guess those guys are, they leave Rogalski and good things happen, even though, a lot of people are super down on him. Nicholas, thoughts on those dirty hits from Montreal in the third? I was at the game. Crowd began to get very angry. I mean, I don't know. I need to know which ones you're talking about specifically, but the game just got very chippy, and the Devils have to be able to respond. They cannot wither up and just, die. When that shit starts to happen, it has to be like, okay, this is how you want to roll. And we need to not only match that intensity, but surpass it. And that's why you need a guy like McDermott in the lineup, because that end of that third period got super, super chippy. And when teams start doing that, the boys have to be like, okay, this is how they want to play it. Let's run it, and just start smashing people. Just absolutely smashing people. Caulfield is the smallest hockey player I've ever seen. The fourth line is a Frankenstein line, and it's not causing huge issues. They deserve some praise. I agree. Bratt is an unsung hero. He does it all. He plays PK, power play, he can score. He's relatively responsible defensively. He puts muscle. If he puts on muscle and starts hitting, I might build a statue to him with my bare hands. Take out the gabagool. All this from a slice of pizza and pretension. Dougie has never been physical shame. I mean, yeah, he's just so big. Like, just start hitting people, my man. I don't know why. Again, I talked about this before. I think it's something innate in people. It's either like you want to smash people or you don't. I do think some guys could be kind of coached up and taught to do it, but I think there's a true difference between people that have the natural dog killer in them, like the Kachuk brothers, versus someone who's trying to play that role, but that's not really who they are. And obviously that's not who Dougie is. And with some guys, like I said, the Kachuk brothers, other guys in the league that they just want to go out there and crush people because that's just in their body. Like, that's who they are. He already put on muscle and was killing it. Brad is the best player on the team all around with the exception of the captain. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment. Rocky Rinaldi. Jack made physical contact for once and resulted in the empty netter. Yeah, it was great. It was a collision / kind of takedown. I think it was Matheson was trying to keep the puck in. Yeah, he kind of hit him, got tangled up with him. He went down. Puck came loose, and Bratter was like, thank you. I will deposit that into the empty net for my second goal of the night and third point on the evening. Who in here is the one that voted Jack for president in the election? That's hilarious. Dougie, sometimes great players just have bunk years. It's early, but I think this might just be an off-year, new system, bad injury. He's still producing offensively. Shelter him a bit and wait. Yeah, I mean, that's all we could do, right? Frank, Dougie's still healing. Give him time. I hope that it's something he can move past and that it's not this is what we're going to get. This is it from now on. Montembeau also had a pretty good game, had some solid saves to keep Montreal in it. He definitely did. Bratt probably gets the credit he deserves. He's elite in my book. Pesci is my version of unsung hero. His D game is awesome. Very solid. Very, very solid. The refs weren't calling anything at the end. Yeah, I agree. It seemed like they pocketed the whistle and just there was all kinds of shit going down. And that's when the Devils have to just turn into they need to learn how to play like prison yard hockey. Like when the whistles are away and people want to take liberties, we got to learn how to, as a group, just start playing that type of game. And a lot of the guys, I don't think, are necessarily ready for that. Did you go to the game today? I did not. I watched it on from the comfort of my own home. Marky was shaky, too much time off. Jay Snow, I think he was shaky. He did make some big saves, but in my opinion, I never want my number one goalie to have 5 full days off in between games. I would never want to see that. And I know the great Martin Brodeur would agree with me there. You don't think Palat might be what the line needs at this moment? And I think that line could use another excellent winger, but I'm not dogging Palat. He had a good game tonight, and I think we'll see decent games out of him, pretty often. Whenever you're playing with 2 guys like that, and Palat's a veteran in this league, he knows the small things to do to best help those kinds of guys. And I think he will be okay on their line, but I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't like to see Palat upgraded for like an elite, true top 6 winger. I mean, I think a lot of us would like to see that. The power play was disjointed. Pucks were just bouncing everywhere. I mean, they had a couple shots on the. I'm trying to think what period was that in. Yeah, 0 for 3 on the power play. Not great. Just scanning here. I want Markey to play on Saturday and Allen play on Sunday, but nowadays they don't put their star goalie back-to-back, which sucks. Yeah, you're never going to see back-to-back starts. Yeah, I'm curious how for that Saturday Sunday game how they play it with the goalies. As long as the defense plays as well as they are capable, it shouldn't matter if Allen or Markey's in it. Markey's a starter, but Allen is honestly just as good. It's more a matter of stamina. I don't know about that, Walt. I can't say that I think Allen is just as good. Although, if you're using this season as a barometer, I mean, I guess so. But Dirks Numa Files just got home from the game good when the arena was rocking, but the boys got a bit manhandled. I was looking for McDermott to open a can of whoop ass. Yeah, I was too. I thought after some of the the chippiness, I was like, maybe McDermott's going to go out there and look to smash someone's face in. But you also need a willing dance partner, and I don't know. I guess maybe he didn't get the matchup out there to get a nice little bout. I actually saw McDermott sweater walk in the concourse. Nice. Very nice. I miss Dougie's blast from the point. So do I. I think that might have to do with his injury. Hopefully it's something that heals or gets better, but he used to just be way more trigger happy to blast them. And it's just not happening. I'm okay with Markey getting extra time off now, but ramp up play time towards the end of the season. I saw a reverse retro Secor jersey today. Make it make sense. I think he was here for one of those. Wait, did you say reverse retro? Hold on, I just tabbed out. Okay, I missed the reverse part. Yeah, he definitely wasn't here for any of the reverse retros. I'm a jersey snob, so I hate stuff like that. I thought I read it as a regular retro at first, because he was here at least 1 year, I believe, when we wore the red with the green and white. But reverse retro, definitely not. But, it's the same thing as like, why are people wearing, Scott Stevens Stadium Series jerseys or, any of these other jersey, what I would call faux pas. You see tons of them at the arena. It is what it is. I mean, if it makes the people happy, then do what you want. But I can't stand it. I can't stand it personally. It makes me. Hey, John Woodson, do yourself. Yeah, Natural Canopy. You're the commenter of the night between the Chrissy Moltisanti profile photo and John Woodson. Do yourself a favor and shut my shoes and grab Ace another drink. Stop being malignant. Oh man. I said I'm not okay, Spider. Oh man. Oh shit. Have to beat the Sharks, should beat the Isles, Panthers, and Tampa will be tough/ugly. I'd be happy at winning 2 out of 3 in Florida, honestly. I mean, again, if you could win all 3, great, but that's super, super greedy. Black Adrian, 4-0-1 in the McDermott era. Yeah, I mean, what, the math department nerds might have, their deep metrics and stuff that doesn't support McDermott playing, but I would point to that stat alone, Black Atron, and say 4-0-1, and then drop the mic in their face. He should be in the lineup almost every night. I agree with that as well. Dougie seems like he's shooting the wrister more than the clapper. Yeah, he's not. He used to see him just tee up, and he just couldn't wait for the puck to come, and he just blast it. Now it's more snapshots, wrist shots. You don't really see him fully unwinding and just letting him rip. Luke is still clueless. He just now has a partner who knows what defense is. Well, listen, no mistake. I don't think it was a mistake that they put, probably one of our more heady or smart defensemen in Brett Pesce with Luke, because from time to time, Luke is going to, take some of those gambles. Last year, they needed Luke to play loose like that under Lindy. Oh, and loose he did. And to someone else's, someone else had the question earlier. I think that's why Luke hasn't been as kind of visible or whatever as last year, because he was getting away with just kind of freewheeling out there doing whatever the hell he wanted. I think now he's probably, being held accountable to be more defensively responsible and to not just go, roaming all the way up deep in the offensive zone as far as you want and not get back. Kovacevic looked right at me during the warm-up today. Oh, my God. John Woodson does not have the makings of a varsity athlete. Oh, man. You guys are too much. Someone has to be the voice of reason. Don't be mad at me when Florida stomps us. Woodson just finished off the fireball bottle after his rags lost. Time for him to troll. Luke being paired up with Pesci is going to help him settle down on his flashy play that gets him in trouble, but he's still capable of it when the opportunity is there. He's becoming a better D-man. I agree with that, Walt. I think they want to see a more well-rounded, defensively responsible Luke. Luke is starting to play defense now that we have a coach who knows what defense is. He's still young, but you can see it starting. And hopefully, again, we start to see the offense from Luke too. But being that he's a defenseman, and this team has showed that on most nights there's no kind of issue with scoring goals, and that our biggest issue is more preventing them. I think it's a wise thing to kind of preach defense first to guys like Luke. Dougie, his defense was never all that good, but he's always been a pure blue line playmaker, but he's definitely dipped lately. Let's not pretend like he was ever Scott Stevens, though. Yeah, that's fair. But the offense is severely lacking as well. I mean, at least the shots and the goals. Getting out muscled by teams half as physical as Florida, just want them to be competitive with the big boys. Well, we're going to see. We have 2 games against them next week. And we're going to see, what this team is made out of. Devils best the Panthers last January when they weren't heavier, edgier, more violent. Well, I hope that Keefe, prepares them for a war, because they need to be prepared for all-out war going into Florida for the whole trip. 2 against the Panthers and 1 at Tampa Bay. Matt Dumba had a torn pec. He was never the same when he came back. At this point, I'm convinced John Woodson has a humiliation kink. Oh, boy. Paul Cotter deserves soft drinks of choice. Guy's been one of the hardest working guys on the ice. I absolutely love Paul Cotter, and can't say enough about him. He's the kind of guy you need to have in the playoffs. I think him and Nason are going to be absolute animals in the playoffs, and I can't wait to see this team play playoff hockey once again. I don't want, to wish April on us right away. I do enjoy, the full season and going through the whole thing. But I will say, when April rolls around and the boys are going into the playoffs, it's going to be something truly special. It's going to be 2 years in the making. Returning to the playoffs for the first time in nearly 2 years. Our last playoff game was May of 23. So this playoffs will be in April of 25. Yeah, almost 2 years. Crazy. Puck Gobo, what's going on? Yo, Ace, I hope you're good. I missed the game because I was tired and took a little head injury during swimming. But 5-3. Woo! Puck Gobo, hope your head's okay. Would you dive in the shallow end and crack your melon? I mean, you got to, what are we doing out there, Puck Gobo? You got to be careful. Safety first. You said in the pregame vid that this wasn't a must-win, but it was a need to win. It's pretty early in the season, so I'm guessing you wanted to see something. Did you see what you were looking for? Resting Guitar Face, to be perfectly honest with you, at this juncture of the season, all I was looking for was a friggin' win. However they had to do it and get the 2 points. And so did I see what I was looking for? Yes, we won. We found a way to win the game. It wasn't the prettiest game, but it doesn't matter. On to the next one. 2 points in the bank. We beat a team at home that we were supposed to beat. Everyone, Montreal's a team you're supposed to beat, especially at home. We beat them. We move on to the next one. Was it the prettiest game? No, but did I see what I wanted to see? Yes. A win and 2 points in the bank, and Jack heating up, and Jesper looking great too. Love to see it. How do you think Brendan Dillon is looking so far? I like Brendan Dillon. I think he's a big leader in the room, and I think he's a leader on the ice and on the bench as well. He's not, he wasn't brought in for a ton of offense. I think he was brought in more for his kind of physicality and demeanor. And I think he's a good locker room guy. He seems like, he's a veteran. He's been around for a while. I think he's very hungry to win. And I like what I've seen from him so far. He's obviously heavier, edgier, more violent, throws a ton of hits. He's had a couple fights this year. And, yeah, I'm a big Brendan Dillon guy. Paul Cotter deserves to make capo. Oh, man. Toffoli is a perennial 30-goal scorer. Yeah. One thing I really like about Keefe is that he's a hard ass about the details. Felt like even if they sucked but one rough was happy, Keefe will have them winning like a contender if he keeps it up. Yeah, no, it does seem like he is a perfectionist to your point there. And, even in a win tonight, he was like, I hated this game or whatever he said. But, I think he will have the right kind of balance of compliments and kind of spankings with some of these guys. And hopefully, like I've been saying over time, that the team just keeps improving and improving. And I think they will. I'd love the heavier, edgier, more violent to pop out more, but it's tough when other teams just seem to be better at it. And against NJ with it, best to initiate the physicality rather than react to it. Yeah, I always rather hit first than react to getting hit. And it just seems like a lot of these guys, it is that way, and that we're more reactionary, reactive versus proactive. I couldn't agree with you more, For Devil. I wish every game we came out from puck drop and just took it to teams and just slammed them through the wall. Yeah, don't wait to see like, oh, what kind of game is this going to be? Like, bullshit. We should go in there every game like it's war. And even if other teams don't want to play that game, we force it on them. And that's what real championship teams like Florida does. It is a fairly new kind of concept to this group. And so I think sometimes, unfortunately, you kind of see it dialed back until they're kind of forced into it. And I wish that we did take the proactive approach where we just came out of the gate on our own and didn't wait for teams to start playing physical. We just started smashing them right away. I just spit out my beer of choice. John Woodson doesn't belong in our social club. Plot has never been great in the regular season. He's a playoff guy. Well, hopefully he has a big playoff this year. It's not the physicality they struggle with, it's the heavy forecheck. I think they honestly struggle with both, but more so the forecheck. They start getting sloppy and making bad passes. I mean, there was a couple passes in our defensive zone tonight. I think Luke made one. Maybe there was a couple where I was like, holy shit, what are you thinking? Like very lackadaisical, like cross ice passes that could have been picked off, or like lazy dumps up the boards. I think Luke had one to Pesci where it was like kind of a soft, bad pass, and it kind of got broken up by a Canadian, and they ended up having the puck in our zone for a little bit after that. I just think, a lot of these guys need to kind of adopt the Curtis McDermott philosophy of just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. If I saw the Devils initiate it more, I feel like they can pull teams off their game plan. Yeah, I wish they just came out and just started smashing people right away. Don't wait for it to happen to you. Just come out there and say, this is our identity. We're not hoping you want to play a run and gun game. We'll play that if you want. But in the meantime, we are going to smash people up and down the ice. And it seems like they don't really want to do that. For sure. So, watching Sharks Wild right now. After I get off here, I'd like to watch some West Coast hockey. Sharks beat us at home last year. Yep. I think we lost to another. Did the Ducks beat us last year at home too? I think so. Yeah, just losing to garbage teams on home ice. Last season was toilet water. VTech had, I think it was a 49 or 50 save night. It was 49. Crazy VTech. John Woodson smells like toilet water. VTech is hot and cold. It'd be great if we could catch him on an off night. It absolutely would. I'm hoping Capitals fall off. I think we all are, but I will enjoy watching Ovechkin chase the Gretzky goal record. I mean, what a fucking feat. I mean, wow. Gretzky's goal record was definitely thought of for years and years to be amongst the most, kind of unbreakable records that would last, the test of time. I mean, wow. To think that probably, we'd have to get super hot to do it this year, but it seems like, he will need not much time into next season to break this record. And I think it's so historic that I think I might try to be in attendance for that. Honestly, I mean that's just such an amazing record that, and I do believe if and when Ovechkin breaks that record will never be touched, in my opinion. Crazy. Jesse Shannon, Ace, when this live stream has or 10,000 views a night, always remember us OGs. Whether we win or lose, we booze. Love this channel. Smash that. I'll always remember the OGs. Thank you very much, Jesse. Appreciate you coming out. Win or lose, we always booze. I'll always remember the OGs. I don't know that we'll ever get to 10,000 views a night, but that would be something, because then I imagine at that point there'd be some really cool opportunities for us all. But we'll see. I'll just keep chugging along and enjoying it, especially on nights that we win. Obviously, these victory vodkas, they taste so much better than lost beverages. Carolina is not Boston. They should come down to earth eventually. I don't know, man. Rod Brindamore, he is an absolute animal, and his teams play disciplined. They play his system, and I don't know. Carolina is not going to be an. I wouldn't want to. Listen, I would hope that somehow the Devils would avoid Carolina in the playoffs. If I'm being honest, they're our daddy. The Hurricanes are absolutely our daddy. No matter what, we better beat San Jose. I hope so. Dougie ain't got that dog in him. He definitely doesn't have that dog in him. Isles beat Ottawa tonight. Hopefully we could catch him off guard from travel. That'd be nice. NJ Swamp Fox, so effort tonight. Still good to win. A win is a win, guys. A win is a win. Problem with Dougie, if he isn't scoring, he isn't really worth having on the team. Even if his injury is lingering, his effort to break up plays in the D zone is next to non-existent. I mean, it's a fair point. I just like to think that at some point the offense comes back. Not specific, but is there anything better than a New Jersey Devils win? The only thing better than a New Jersey Devils win is a New Jersey Devils postseason win. Natural Canopy. Over 100 people in this chat and only 59 likes. Damn, guys, hit the like button. Thank you, Natural Canopy. Hit the like button, the little thumb button. Hit that shit, please. I mean, again, maybe there's a lot of haters in here. I don't know, but I would appreciate you hitting the like. It would help out a little bit. Andy MC, bro, had to miss the game tonight to deal with work. What's the headline from this one? To sum it up quickly, Andy, I would say Devils kind of a sloppy game. Not their best game, not their worst. Found a way to win when it counted. Always had the lead. Canadiens kept pushing and pushing. Couldn't tie it up. And it was the Jack and Jesper show tonight. Jack Hughes with a goal and 2 beautiful assists. Jesper Bratt with 2 goals and a beautiful assist. And the boys lock it down, beating the Canadiens 5-3 on home ice. Liked just now. Thank you, sir. A win to end the season is the best win of all. I'm assuming that's you're alluding to a Stanley Cup win for Devil, which really would be the Devils got slapped around, but still won, sort of. With Luke Nemitz and Casey, exactly where are we fitting an elite top 6 under the cap? John Woodson, come on, man. Do I have to explain everything to you? Obviously, salary would have to be going the other way, sir. I mean, I'm convinced you're a Ranger fan. Obviously, I'm not suggesting we, where else would a top 6 player come from? It would come via trade, which would require sending salary the other way. Yeah. BM, thanks for watching. Off topic. Anyone surprised how garbage Nashville has been? I mean, I am. And it's crazy. I actually sent my buddy a text the other night. I was watching NHL Network. I mean, Nashville was a decent team for kind of a while. They've been a decent team, a playoff caliber team. And for them to go out there this summer and get Stammer and Marchessault in the same summer, I never would have anticipated them struggling the way they have been this year. But here's a direct quote. Where the hell is it? I sent it to my buddy last night because when I saw it on the screen, I was shocked. Yeah, this was a Barry Trotz, the GM of the Predators. This is a quote to some reporter. I'm trying to do some things right now. We will be limited a little because of contracts. If we don't get it going, then I'm going to start our rebuild plan. What? I could not fathom being a Predators fan with how excited they must have been July 1. They get Stammer and Marchessault. on a team that was already a playoff team. They get the two of the biggest free agent forwards, and then your GM in the first week of November is talking about how he can't do much because of contracts, and if it doesn't start to come together soon, he's going to go into the rebuild plan. Hit the panic button. I mean, holy shit. I would be on the ledge for sure if I'm a Predators fan. You'd have to trade Meyer or Bratt and get Dougie and Palat off the team. All right, John. Go to bed, John. You're dismissed. Good night, John. Good night, John. You're dismissed. Glad to hear someone wrote in Cotter for president in Bergen County. Halla is my guy. I love that third line. On an unrelated to this game note, I'm taking a coworker to his first hockey game in December versus Chicago. Always fun introducing someone to the sport via a live game, especially when all they really know is NBA and NFL. I mean, I have a bunch of friends that won't watch hockey on TV, but occasionally they would go to a game, and it's definitely a sport that is best enjoyed live. And like I said, a ton of my friends that are sports fans but not necessarily hockey fans, they don't really get into it on TV, but when you're at the game, they all enjoy it. And so, for you to introduce someone to hockey in a live game, I think, they're going to love it, I'm sure. Not shocked by Nashville, but it raises eyebrows. I'm shocked. I am really shocked. Jack was all over the place tonight, Andy. All up and down the ice, flying around, generating chances. And like I said, a nice goal and two beautiful assists. One to Bratt, which was a beautiful goal from Jack, and then he had a really nice one to Palat. Obviously, home and home games are a thing. Why exactly are we playing Florida on both Tuesday and Thursday? Kind of crazy. I guess it's probably unavoidable with the schedule makers for whatever reason. It's very rare to see this type of thing. And when I saw the schedule, I was like, this is bizarre. But for whatever reason, we're playing them twice. It's a real big test. A real big test. Team looks like they play better with Allen for whatever reason. Might just be how I see it, though. I just think up to this point in the season, I think it's outside of maybe the past week or so, the team was kind of inconsistent. And so it could be, I can't say that it's that they're playing better with Allen in there or it's just kind of coincidental, but we're going to find out. I mean, we're going to see Allen again at some point in the next few days, whether it's on the island or at home. We will see him soon. What are we drinking tonight? My buddy goodie. Tonight we are going with the post-game drink. We're going with the Dirty Devil vodka, the official vodka, the great Martin Brodeur, and a little Red Bull. Throwing it back to my young days. I haven't had a vodka Red Bull in a while. Hot take from JS. Brad is leading point scorer come season's end. I mean, how much of a hot take is that really, JS? I mean, I don't think that's me. I wouldn't really call that a hot take. I mean, maybe to some people that just automatically assume it's going to be Jack year in and year out. But right now, Bratt leads the team with 18 points. Nico has 16 and Hughes has 15. I mean, if I had to bet on it, who would be leading the team at the end of the year, I would bet on Bratt as well. Just because of his consistency over the past few years and the fact that he's been able to stay healthy, I would definitely, lean towards him. Haysom having more larceny. Nice. Dylan isn't scared of hitting anyone. We need the rest of the team to follow. Yeah, Dylan has he was in the top few guys in the league. I have to look back to see where he is now, but that's one of the reasons we got him. Since he's come into the league, he's been I think he's in the top 10 since he's been in the league for hits. Oh, wow. Right now, well, I don't know when this is updated. I guess it's updated now. So Paul Cotter is 5th in the league right now with 48 hits through 16 games played, which is 3 hits a game. And Dylan's at 41. He's 20th on the list. Wow. Yeah, Paul Cotter. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Love Paul Cotter. I'm feeling quite happy with Palat lately. I'm hoping that this isn't a patch and maybe Keefe has put a little barbecue in him. I really want to like Keefe, so let's go Keefe. I already like Keefe. He won me over with some of his press conferences earlier on in the season. And I think he's going to be very good for this team for a while. Jack Hughes is a made man. Kako isn't. I think I heard in the postgame that Devils are leading the league in hits. I believe that is correct. Let's see. Hits is not an easy stat to pull up, which is super annoying. Yeah, hits is just you have to go digging for it. It's super annoying. Like, can you just show it like as a main stat? Yeah, quant hockey, where are hits? They make it hard as hell to find hit stats. My Toronto friend says power play wasn't Keith's strong point. Well, I think coming into tonight, they were 9 for 18 on their last 18, which is like 50%. Our power play has been pretty solid. It kind of sucked tonight, but 3-point. What's up, Stick Figs? 3-point night for Jack. Amazing defensive play at the end for the empty netters. 86 back. I need to see a couple more good games, but I think this was the start of the comeback for sure. John Woodson is clearly wearing a wire. Though notwithstanding anyone from Utica, I'd love to get another McDermott type. Sometimes our Undertakers need their canes. Yeah, but it has to be someone who can contribute a little more than McDermott. Not to knock on McDermott, but you can't have two guys that only bring the physicality and have to play a very simple game. Like, I think I would like to see a guy like what people thought Nate Bastian could or would be in terms of a guy that can contribute offensively a little bit and be physical and provide some of that. He obviously did provide a tiny little bit of offense here and there, but when it came to the physical department, he wasn't cut out for it. I would just like to see, someone who can produce points here and there, but has that really nasty mean streak. Do you think Ovi retires after breaking the record? Would allow Washington to go straight into rebuild? Yeah, absolutely. And I think it'll be next year. Well, let me see. Is he on a? I can't keep track what his contract situation is, but I'd imagine. Oh yeah, so his contract expires at the end of next season. So I'd imagine next season will be his last. He'll definitely get the record at some point, barring injury. He's only 30 some odd goals away. So between this season and all of next season, that's he will get the record, and so that probably will be it. That probably will be it. As much as I joke here tonight, it's an honor to be in the presence of a great hockey mind like Ace. I remember when you used to wait out in the car and frankly, you used to still be the Johnny Sack. Oh, boy. Oh, I just saw this. Puck Gobo. Thank you very much, sir. Victory Beer. Let's go Devils. Also still hunting for that green Heishier jersey. Ooh, the reverse retro. A shot for a suffering Devils fans in Europe. Thank you very much, Puck Gobo. I appreciate it. Let me know what you're talking about. If you're talking about a reverse retro, I'll keep my eyes peeled. Those have become a very, very hot commodity in the past couple years. They really dried up. So I'm curious, but let me know in the chat which one you're talking about. You must be talking about the reverse retro, I'd imagine. kind of am a little taken back at Nashville. Not kept up with stuff, but curious how Stamkos is doing. I mean, he's probably regretting his decision for sure. Amagi, yo, Ace, are my Elias 2014 Stadium Series, Brodeur 2007 All-Star, or Dawes 2020? I would say wear whatever you wore tonight, my man. You got to ride the hot hand. So whatever you had on tonight, wear that shit again on Sunday. Paul Cotter and Jack Hughes both got votes to become president. It's hilarious. The league is trying to get away from hits and fights. It's a disgrace, Ace. I couldn't agree more. I think that's why in a lot of the fights the Devils had this year, there was an extra 2-minute penalty awarded either, to the Devils or the other team, depending on who kind of started the fight. But it seems like they want to really, make guys nervous to get into fights, because if they get in a fight, the other team ends up on the power play, a lot of coaches might rip some guys' heads off. And so I think they're trying to plant that kind of seed of doubt in these guys' heads. Like, yo, mess around. You start a fight, your team's going to be shorthanded and your coach might bench you. I really do think it's like an intimidation kind of thing to try to keep the fights down. Yeah, can't have two guys that play 5 minutes a night. I agree. If all goes well, I want a Sheldon Keefe plush. He looks like a teddy bear. Yeah, you guys are messed up. Oh, shit. Nashville should let us have Stammer since they don't know how to use him. I really wanted Stammer so bad, but I didn't. I was delusional. I thought Stammer was an old school cat. I really did. He kind of was like, I guess I would say, one of the last guys that could qualify for that kind of category. But he really disappointed me. I thought he was going to try to go to a true contender on a team-friendly deal to hopefully load up the roster around him and try to win another cup in a second franchise. But he went straight up for money. Not that Nashville's a bad team, but I don't think anyone thought they were like a cup favorite by any stretch. He signed for max money, which is $8 million a year in Nashville, which is a state tax-free state. So he went for all the money in the world. The guy was worth like over $100 million already. How much money do you need? He lost a lot of points in my book when he did that. And I think he lost a lot of points in a lot of people's books because it was a straight up money grab. I thought more of him, but he let me down. Yeah, the reverse retro. I'd love a Heischer one of those. I've seen a few, but they had Hughes on the back. I wore a bootleg Reebok Brodeur jersey my coworker gave me today. Well, guess what, my man? You take your ass back to the Rock on Sunday in that same bootleg Brodeur Reebok jersey, and you wear that shit again. Yeah, that's right, Jersey Roots. You just keep it going. Nashville's a prime example why you don't go after the big free agency fish. Thank God Fitz is smarter than the fans. Oh, John, come on. You're telling me you wouldn't want Stamkos on this team? Let's be real. Gary Bettman is an FBI informant. Keefe is the first coach we have had in a long time with hair. I mean, I guess you're not counting Travis Green. They also got Marshy in Nashville. We could have wildly overpaid for Saros and Stammer. I was hoping Stammer was going to sign for like $5.5, $6 million. I thought there was a chance of that. And supposedly the Devils were in on him. So I would love to know the details of what contracts were on the table for Stammer. I would so love to know that information. Walt at John Woodson, but Fitz did go for the big free agency fish. Nashville landed the fish he was going after. Exactly. I'm pretty sure he may have been in on Marchessault as well. I wish all this shit was public information. Obviously, it's not, but I would love to know. Dodged a big bullet. I disagree, John. Reverse retro 1. 1.0s are extremely rare. I had to settle for Fanatics. I would still take Stammer in a heartbeat. So would I, Jay Snow. I'll take Stammer for 5, not 7. I think he signed for $8 million a year, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought he was going to sign somewhere for 5.5 to 6, maybe even 6.5. At 6.5, I would have loved Stammer, if we're being real. I mean, come on. The guy still has it. But it wasn't in the cards. We addressed other needs, spent all that money, and it is what it is. Yeah, I guess a little bit of an underwhelming start for him and the Predators. But tell me with a straight face, anyone tell me with a straight face that if we had a guy like Stammer on Jack's other wing, can you imagine a line? Let's just daydream for a minute. A line of Jack Hughes, Steven Stamkos, and Jesper Bratt. Whew, that is straight filth on filth on filth. That would have been absolute just insanity. Pure insanity. Marsh was one we were all led to believe was a done deal for NJ, but got yanked out from under us. I have a reverse retro 1.0. I'm stripping. Traveling Devil. Which one do you have? Which one do you have? They'd score $1 million and give up $1 million. Tuning in late, Ace. I'm sure you already mentioned it, but Jack was buzzing tonight. Oh, was I? Did I ever mention it, Ryan? I'm not declaring it yet. It seems like Jackie Boy is back. I need to see a couple more solid games, but Jack was buzzing, flying all over the ice, generating chances left and right. That first assist just dangling through the whole Canadiens team, setting up Bratt. Then he set up Palat, which we all know is not the easiest feat to do. Gave it to Palat perfectly in that little tight area, and Palat ripped it up right past Montembeault. And then obviously he finished on the beautiful pass from Bratt for his goal. Jack looked like the Jack of 2022, 2023, the elite playmaking Jack, the Jack we all grew to love. And hopefully it's a start of him coming back. Oh, my man Chase. Thank you, sir. Cheers to you, Chase. Great late night stream, A's. Keep the wins coming. Yeah, hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. I was reading your text. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up after this, Chase. If you guys are into tech, gaming, all that stuff, Chase Brogan is the man. Has a really great tech review channel. He does all kinds of gaming related stuff. Hacked handhelds and secret Nintendo 64 cartridges that are preloaded with all kinds of shit on SD cards. And he also recently started a YouTube channel with former WCW NWO star Marcus Buff Bagwell. Highly entertaining stuff. Highly recommend you guys check that out if you're into wrestling or tech. But Chase runs both of those channels, and they're both very entertaining. And the Buff Bagwell stories on the channel he does with him are legendary. Wrestling guys are as funny to me as hockey guys, and I find hockey guys wildly entertaining. A lot of other former athletes are kind of boring to me. Hockey guys have a certain kind of level of humor and great storytelling, and wrestlers are kind of right there with them. And Buff Bagwell tells great stories with Chase on his channel all the time, so I highly recommend checking that out. NWO for life. But thank you very much, Chase. Appreciate you, bro. Let me see here. Stammer signed for 8. Definitely not team friendly, but man, imagine having Stammer instead of the legendary party time Palat. Yeah, I wouldn't have paid Stammer $8 million. I really wouldn't have. He's worth it. I wouldn't have paid it to him, but I really thought he was going to sign for $5.5 or $6 million somewhere, and he went for max dollar in a tax-free, tax-free state, and he lost a lot of points in my book. So, I don't know. The Nashville Predators are nothing but a glorified crew. Connor Hellebuck killing it right now. Hopefully Connor Hellebuck kills it for Team USA in the Four Nations face-off. Team USA is going to be filthy loaded, and I'm very curious. When are they going to release those jerseys? I need more merch. I need more friggin' merch. I might rage quit and go for another DH game. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stamina is also center. Wouldn't be on Hughes' line, guys. When you have superstar players like this, Jack or Stamkos are very capable of playing wing, and so I would leave it in this hypothetical scenario. I would leave it amongst those boys to figure out who's going to play where. But when you have that level of talent, I'm not getting caught up in he's a center, he's a this. We're trying to win cups. We're trying to have the most balanced lines possible. Figure it out. Figure it out. And Stammer's been playing right wing on their top line with Philip Forsberg and Ryan O'Reilly centering, to my point. So, Yeah, Stamkos has been a center, but he's clearly a legend and is capable of playing wing, and he's playing right wing on the top line for the Preds right now. So he could 100% be on Hughes' line. John Woodson again, man. Shine my damn shoes and it's a drink. Don't get a DH gate RR 1.0. They are heinous. Jesse, peace out, Cub Scouts. Let's go Devils. Let's go Devils. One you don't like, LOL. I had to get a Stevens one at a decent price. I ordered to own one. I'm changing it to someone else that wore the jersey. Oh, it came with Stevens on it? Some of these people, man. 2 more scrub games, and hopefully we don't eat humble pie. Jack is going to dish apples. Brat and Plot got to bury them. They will. Buff the stuff for sure. Yeah, check out his YouTube channel. It's great. They do lives together. They do recorded videos where he recalls funny stories. Some of the wrestling stories from back in the day, my God, their stories are insane. The Jack of all plays. Everyone knows Buff is the stuff. Who the hell is Marcus Buff? Marcus Buff Bagwell. I'm going to put a very funny character of WCW wrestling. And in the famous clique NWO, if you don't know, you're probably super young, and I'll forgive you. But wrestling was basically, I mean, it still is to now. But for people that are roughly my age or a little bit older or a little bit younger, wrestling during that time was just phenomenal. I just put the link in the chat to the Marcus Buff Bagwell channel. You got to check out some of his videos. He does lives. Him and Chase do a great job on there. Really, really funny stories, man. I could listen to wrestling and hockey guys tell stories forever because they very much remind me of each other with just a lot of it is just pure ridiculousness and a lot of people roasting each other and stuff like that. I always like that. Me and my friends are big ball busters. And here's Chase's channel. Check Chase out for all your tech needs. But wrestlers and hockey guys have the greatest stories. And, like, again, a lot of them are inappropriate and involve people being ball busters. And I could listen to that shit all day long. I thoroughly enjoy it. And Chase gets some great stories out of Buff. Even sometimes you can tell you, like, hesitant to tell them, but eventually he's like, all right, just screw it. I'm going to tell it. I think characters would be an understatement, Chase. Amagi, Scott Stevens reverse retro 1.0 makes me angry just thinking about it. People, these are jersey faux pas. Buff for consigliere. I mean, I think Buff could be a decent consigliere for sure. Wrestlers are all sauced up. Yeah, and he actually, Buff did a video on their channel about steroids. Check it out. Really good video about steroids and his steroid use. Great stuff. Listen, Stammer got 2 cups. He could take the payday and enjoy himself. Yeah, but he doesn't. My point, Jason, is he doesn't need the money. The man had made like 150 or 160 mil career earnings, right? So yeah, rich people love more money. Great, but I would like to believe, or at least for my guys on my team, and Marty did this when he had way less money, by the way, than Stamkos. If you're a guy that is set financially for every generation of your family name, meaning no Stamkos should ever have to work a regular ass job ever again if they don't want to. Set up financially for many, many generations. I would believe if you're still going to play hockey that you would care about winning another cup more than money. And so I thought, foolish me, I thought Stammer was an old school guy with old school principles. I thought he was going to go to a team that was more in position to win a cup now or in the next couple of years for whatever the duration of his contract he was going to sign at a team-friendly deal. This guy went to Nashville for max dollar. No one was going to probably pay him more than $8 million a year. For $8 million a year, I believe it's a 3-year deal. And Tennessee, where Nashville is located, for those of you that are geographically challenged, Nashville is located in the state of Tennessee, which is a state that does not have state income tax, meaning with Stammer making $8 million a year times 3 years, the deal's worth $24 million. I don't know what the percent is, but even at a small percent of $24 million is a shitload of money that he keeps in his pocket that he would have lost had he played in New Jersey, New York, any other state that has state income tax. He would have lost a big chunk of his earnings. And so I have to judge him for that. It did bother me. I thought he was more of a, an old school principal kind of guy, but he's not. It is what it is. Sorry if I'm being a bit naggy with asking, but if you get around to gaming, I'd love to see you do a franchise GM mode. I don't have time to play video games like regularly. I actually was going to possibly do a video with Chase or by myself, depending. Chase is a very busy man. About hockey video games, about all the retro hockey video games, and maybe something kind of touching on current video games as well. But, we'll see. But as far as like playing like long term, I consider this right now video games. What I'm doing right now, this is video games to me. Like, this is downtime, leisure activities. That's kind of video game-ish, in my opinion. Amagi, I bought it because of the price. I am having it stripped. Yeah. How do you all feel about the Jetty merch collab? I must ask you all, since for some reason they chose not to make it available online. I can see how that's annoying for people out of state. I do think that kind of adds kind of a little bit more of a buzz or hype around it, if you will. I actually did not like the Jetty merch collab that they did last year, but this year there is some sick pieces. I actually liked pretty much everything I saw that they did in this year's collab. I thought it was really well done. I thought it was much better than last year. I thought some really nice pieces. I'm hoping Jack makes the USA team. Jack is 1,000% on the USA team. You guys are nuts. Come on, Jason. Now that's a given. I think I seen Vince Russo wearing an NJD jersey in WCW once. I'm going to have to do some research on that. I watched WWF growing up, but I can't watch it today. It's just so fake and stupid. Gem card, kind of random, but I appreciate all you do, Ace. You make being a Devils fan so much better. Keep up the good content. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank all of you for whatever, however you consume the videos, and especially for coming into these. I enjoy these post-game lives a lot. A lot of times I go on nonsensical tangents, but I definitely enjoy it. And I've always said, after wins, victory vodkas are way better than loser drinks. Stammer doesn't care. He wanted to stay in Tampa, and they screwed him, so he went for a big payday. I think he was a little butthurt. It did seem like his feelings were hurt, and I do think that's kind of an indictment on Tampa as well. I mean, you should have made his deal a priority earlier on in the season and not kind of keep dragging it out. I think they wanted to pay him pennies. I think it left a bad taste in his mouth, and I think he was like, I'm done. Question, which D-men will NJ end up trading? We're so heavy on defense right now, it behooves one to think they'll sit on this many assets. If I was a betting man, I don't know that we're going to do it this year, but in the off season, it's tough because a lot matters on how things play out. But with the amount of money he makes, I could see them trying to maybe move Dougie, which I would have never thought. But because of how much he makes and what his potential production might be this year, it might be a hard thing to move him without retention, maybe, because if he's not putting up a shit ton of points, I don't know that a lot of teams are going to really have any interest. So it's really interesting. I could see possibly Nemitz in the right deal being moved. Trying to think. Possibly Siegenthaler if they could cash him out high. I wouldn't want to see that now, how solid he's playing. But if they think maybe in the offseason, depending on how everything else goes, that's, Casey or someone else could step in for him and they could get a good return on him and free up that cap space, I could see it. But if I had to pick one guy right now, I would imagine that Dougie would be the one that they would love to trade, if I'm being honest, just because of, from the standpoint of how much cap space moving him would free up. The non-state income tax thing is a killer for other teams. Yeah, it really is. There has to be some sort of balance for that. It's kind of wild. Jack will be first-line center or Def second-line center. He's 100% making the USA team. Yeah, absolutely. Jay Snow, you're crazy. He is an automatic on Team USA. Automatic. Ryan, I disagree here. Luke is not guaranteed anything. And I don't think he makes the Four Nations team. I believe Luke has a chance at the Olympics in 2026. I don't think Luke makes the Four Nations team, but obviously Jack and Quinn are cemented in there for sure. Cemented in there. Amagi, I liked one of the Jetty tees, but I'm not paying $45 for a t-shirt. Nope. That's where you draw the line, Amagi. That's where you decide to be a man of principles. You're not paying $45 for a t-shirt. Come on. Come on. They're nice t-shirts. This is the world we live in now. Not everyone had Jack on the team watching the boys on TBS last night. Well, guess what? The boys on TBS aren't Billy Guerin and the guys picking the team. And I promise you, Jack Hughes is guaranteed to be on the Four Nations face-off team. And barring an injury, he is guaranteed to be on the 2026 Olympic team that will be playing in Milan, Italy as well. You're nuts. Jay Snow, you smoking with Aiden Furio now. I know the Jetty guys, they are from my area. You can't buy the merch online or even here around town. Arena purchases only, limited quantities. Me and Christy are going to tip over one of the trucks. Johnny Sack, are you from like the Manahawkin area? One of my buddies has a house down there, and I went there for a night a couple weeks ago, and it's crazy how it's really nice down there in the fall. And with this crazy warm weather we've had lately, I would love to go back down there soon. I might check. I haven't been to their store. I've been meaning to check it out for a while. Of course, I would put him there. I'm telling you, they said last night he wasn't a unanimous choice, which surprised me. Well, listen, don't believe everything you hear, Jay Snow, because I promise you he is 100% on the Four Nations team. No doubt about it. Johnny Sack, I would have brought in Brendan along with Mr. Magoo and Mikey. Did him in. I could see Columbus going in on Dougie. Well, listen, I think Fitz will take calls on him. But I think we're going to need him to start scoring some more goals for teams to really be interested. Unless it's just, I don't know, the right situation. I mean, anything's possible, but a guy making $9 million if he's not, let me see. Dougie's been getting some assists though. Let me see where he's at right now. Yeah, 1 goal and 8 assists for 9 points. I mean, that's a solid point total. But, he had, 20-something goals a couple years ago? He was just letting bombs rip. Now it doesn't look like he's going to be scoring anything. Yo, Ace, just got back. What up, Yo Holmes? He's not playing 1C. That I could agree with, but he's definitely on the team. I'm a cheap bastard who buys clearance Devils tee at Lids. 45 t-shirt would kill me. Most likely second C. They'll probably give Matthews first center and Jack 2C. Oh, wow. What do you think of the design jetty of NJD without the black? Kind of looks nice, but rather Calgary. What do you mean the one without the black? What's the one without the black? Was that the game we were sweating? Yeah, they made it more interesting than it should have been. $45 is hoodie prices. Frank, I mean, I don't want to rip into people, but like you guys are living in 20 years ago. $45, you could get some hoodies for $45, but like everything is expensive now. What was the last hoodie that was $45? That was like a really nice hoodie. And especially at the arena. I mean, you have to know at the arena, you're paying crazy prices. You're paying crazy prices for merchandise. Frank O gets me. Anyone going Sunday game? I might. It always depends. I'm always a game day decision. I can't commit in advance. I always just kind of see how the day goes. Merch is expensive. It certainly is. And I can't stop buying it in life. What's up, Ted? You're at the game. I'm a little jealous. That was a good game. No, Eichel will be 3. They have posted projected lines everywhere. Projected lines don't mean shit either. Do you take merch donations if a viewer had an NJD item to give you? Sure. I'm also going to be doing my big giveaway show soon. I'm not full of shit. I just have so much stuff in the works and so much stuff that's been, everything just takes mad time. So I've been working on that. So now I'm thinking I might do it in conjunction with the holiday season. But I have tons of shit that I've been putting aside and I've been sorting through. I have so much devil stuff. It's crazy, but I've been sorting through a lot of the stuff for a really big giveaway show. I'm probably going to do a big giveaway live. It'll be a combination of different ways to win. But I would say your best chances of winning are following me on everything, which people hate. People make fun of me about Facebook, but I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on X. I'll be doing probably some sort of giveaway thing exclusive to each of those platforms, as well as in the live. But there will be exclusive things to those other platforms that a lot of you decided to take a shot on when people flamed me about Facebook and called me an old man. Only Devil's Den purchase I made besides hats was a starter jacket. It doesn't help that I found Devil's Den stuff at Marshall's for like 60% cheaper. Bro, what Marshalls are you looking at that you're getting Devil's Den stuff for 60% cheaper? Let me know. I would love to. I would love to buy more merchandise because I got a problem. I'm a sick, sick man. Ace, I don't know if you saw, but my offer still stands drinks of choice on Sunday. I didn't see what that was about. Where Eichel was an automatic already. I'm sick and tired of hearing about how good of a team the Rangers have. Screw them. Their time is over. It's our time. Now go out there and take it. Let's go Devils. Darth Rye, I like it, but the Rangers are going to be good for a while. Everything takes mad time. Word. Yeah, everything does take mad time. And as I get older, I feel like I'm not necessarily slowing down, but just everything just takes so much time. People don't realize everything is such a process. And especially when I have to involve other people and stuff, and the inefficiency of humankind in 2024 as a whole, it pains my soul. But there's certain things that I unfortunately am not capable of doing without some level of reliance on other people. And people are, the humans are in trouble, guys. Let's be honest. Humans are in absolute trouble. The world is a scary place, and I fear for the future generations of children, like my little nephews. Okay, folks, I'm out. Should probably do more work while at work. Cheers. Peace out, Walt. I want that Fred Durst story. Maybe you come on here and tell it live one night. Be cool, Walt. The Marshalls in my area, I found a Fanatics Authentic Pro hoodie the other week. I also found that stripe Devil's windbreaker for my friend that's always in the dens. What town, bro? I need a town. Otherwise, I get cheap Devil stuff off my... Okay. That's a little different. Shesterkin has been super dominant this year. Shesterkin's one of the best goalies in the league, guys. I mean, I hate the Rangers. The humans are in trouble, Jason. No, I'm not kidding. The average intelligence of human beings is at an all-time low. Everyone I have to talk to for any sort of business thing or, customer service or pretty much anything, the world is in trouble, guys. I promise you, I'm not making this up. I'm not exaggerating. Mankind is in severe danger. People out there are completely clueless. They don't give a shit. They're dumb. And, it's a problem. Igor also just got scorched worse than Artie's restaurant. R.I.P. Vesuvios. Ace, where did you... shit. This thing's going... I bought this jacket in the den. In the Devil's Den. This is a beautiful... I love this little two-tone. I'm a sucker for merch. Between hoodies and jackets, I can't... I have a whole closet, and that's only in one location. I actually have more that are somewhere else. I've been trying to merge the closets for a while. I got a lot of Devils gear. It's kind of spread all over the house here. I found the Devils hoodie at Clark Marshall's. The windbreaker I found in Watchung, I think. I got a 47 hoodie from a thrift. That was an amazing score. Just so happens I bought a rewatch. I've been meaning to do the rewatch for years. I think I just have to buckle down and do it. I think I have to just buckle down and do it. Actually, IQ was down. I mean, I don't need someone to tell me that to know that it's true. It's a scary world out there. Why do they put fluoride and toothpaste in our water when it's banned for you? Season 2 right now. Yeah, I think I looked up the last live where people were talking about Sopranos. I think there's 86 or 88 episodes total. So basically, if I knocked out one per day, it would take me 3 months to watch the whole series again. I think that's what I'll do. And then maybe like some days I'll do like maybe I'll do like a bonus episode. So if I do like 2 episodes a day, on some days, and they can't be every day, but if I watch one a day and then maybe on weekend days get a second one in there, or maybe speed it up a little bit. Yo, Holmes, Devils win and Buffalo blows out Rags. Beauty Clark. Jersey Gardens Mall lids has never let me down, though. They always have clearance Devil stuff. I got an Adidas Heritage for my friend for $65 there. Grabbed a bunch of cheap Devils tees for myself. Nice. All right, guys. This is the around the standard time. I'm gonna bring back a small. I mean, nothing crazy, but I'm gonna go take a leak. You guys know the drill. This is winding down. And wow, this is great. It's only 12:15, which seems early. Which seems early because I'm used to the West Coast. They have me all messed up. So one of the things, I think I started the freaking stream at 1:45. 12:15 seems like super early. But I'm still, alas, still getting ready to wrap up. Not quite yet, but I'm gonna take a leak. And then I'll be wrapping up, maybe 10 minutes or whatever when I come back. But any other questions, comments, throw them out there. Gonna dispatch this drink. I had 2. I think I'm cutting myself off. I had a couple during the game. But I'll be back. I'll be back in about I'll be back in a minute and a half for closing thoughts, comments. This is usually where you guys get real interesting and off the rails, but I'll be back in about a minute and a half. I look forward to seeing what you people come up with. I'll be right back. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about here. Ryan, you should go live before Devils games on the weekend. I thought about it. I might. Maybe I will for the Islander game. I've done it once, or I've done it a few times before when I randomly. I think I did it before the Stadium Series because I was super jacked up. Maybe I will. I don't know what I'm doing Saturday yet, but I might. Maybe if I'm around, I'll maybe do it for the Islander game. If that's something people are interested in, it's definitely possible. I'll consider that for sure. Wash my hands. Come on, man. See you later, traveling devil. Yo, home. See you later. Frank, you guys can piss in a minute and a half. I miss those days. Frank, how old? Frank, are you an older guy? Because if you're not, I mean, I've heard about the delayed flow and stuff, but I mean, my bathroom is about a 7-second walk from where I'm sitting. So I walk to the bathroom, maybe 30 seconds max to get the flow going and the piss, and another 10-15 seconds of the hand washing and the travel back. Doesn't take long. Hey, you suck. Oh, yo, Holmes, is that a reference to our horrible, horrible chant at the Rock that I hate? How long does it take you to piss? Yeah, I'm curious myself. Amagi, if you could have any game used Devil's item, what would it be? Since you got the old museum, Amagi, just so you know, my dream, I don't know if I've talked about this on the channel. My dream is to one day make an actual museum. This is a very, very, what you see behind me is a small fraction. And by small fraction, I'm going to say 2%. This is probably 2% of the items that I have. I legitimately have enough ammo. I've been a sick, compulsive collector since I was a child, since I was basically 10 years old. And I'm damn near 40 now. So basically 30 years of hardcore Devils collecting. And I have enough items. And I have the concept in my head. I would love nothing more than to make an actual museum. And I hope one day I could make that happen. There's a lot of, I've been thinking about it. There's a lot that goes into it. It requires obviously a lot of time and obviously a lot of money, but I would love nothing more than to actually build a museum. And it would be something wild, completely wild. But if I could have any game used Devils item, it'd be the jersey my buddy has. I've talked about this. I did a video, but I took it down. I'm going to do another better video with him about it. But my buddy owns Jordan, the guy, my buddy that I did the mask videos with. He has in my opinion, what is the greatest Devils item of all time. And it's the great Martin Brodeur's white home playoff jersey in 2003. Obviously, that was when the team still wore white jerseys at home. He has Marty's jersey that was worn in every single home playoff game during the 2003 run, as well as the Stanley Cup winning Game 7. It's stained in champagne. After the game, Marty was walking around with it, chugging champagne. There's champagne stains all over it. It is an absolute phenomenal piece. In my opinion, the greatest piece of Devils memorabilia in existence, and my buddy has it. I enjoy visiting it. I visited that item when I went to the goalie mask vault, and we did that video probably about a month or so ago. But that, in my opinion, is the greatest item. That would be my ultimate grail. I don't think he ever gets rid of it. And if he did, I don't know that I'd be able to. It'd be a price that would make people pass out. I would imagine, if you're not familiar with the pricing on true items like that, it would people would pass out if they knew. And I don't know, even if he was to get rid of it, that I'd be able to swing it, because it is such a high-end, miraculous collectible piece. But that'd be my ultimate grail. And then below that, in no particular order, Marty's 1995 Stanley Cup the cup lifter jersey would be up there. Scott Stevens 95 finals jersey cup lifter would be up there. Things like that would be the highest grail items, in my opinion. And do I regret not buying or buying, Amagi? Is there something I regret? Did I regret buying or not regret buying? It takes a good 2 minutes to get a good flow going. Oh, boy. Good night, Ace and fellow fans. Have to go do a job with Matt. Drink water. We're all going to get there one day. That's for sure. Show the socks, you teasing son of a bitch, you old sailor, you. As long as your soldier still stands at attention. Biggest villain in Devils history? Villain for the Devils or against yeah, a villain that was on the Devils or against the Devils? For the Devils, the best villain for the Devils would, I think, without a doubt, be Claude Lemieux. And then villain against the Devils, I would have to say, for me, probably Sean Avery, but I'm trying to think if there's another one. Avery's definitely up there. You can be like that dude that made a McDonald's museum of all the stuff he owns. I'm not sure who that is. The guy made a museum of McDonald's stuff. Ryan, what did you think of Markstrom tonight? I feel like goal one was soft. He let in, and one was a lucky bounce. D guys trying to block shots. Yeah, he looked a little shaky. Not his best game, but he wasn't terrible, and he made some really big saves when it mattered. Overall, a phenomenal game for the Devils that ends in a win, but a little bit sloppy. Markstrom wasn't the sharpest, but you're going to have to win some games like this. Not all of them are going to be dominations. I'm positive there's champagne stains. There's a little video. Hold on, let me see. This is worth watching if you've never seen it. I'm going to put it in the chat. Let me just see. There was a little bonus feature on the DVD. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, this is it. So there was a little bonus feature on the 2003 Cup DVD where they followed Marty around after Game 7. And this is a great little video. I'm going to put the link in the description right now. If you've never seen it, it's absolutely beautiful. And this is my buddy's jersey. It shows Marty chugging champagne and shit. I just put the link in the chat. But that video is awesome, and that's his jersey. He owns the jersey Marty's wearing in that video I just posted. Regret buying, like something that caught you in the moment, but your love for it has waned a lot. So I'll be honest, Amagi, most of the time, the items I am buying are already like, I don't know how to describe it. Like they're already what they are, if you will. So like anytime I got my Marty stuff, like nothing's going to happen that's going to change how I feel about that. In terms of, I guess for your question, regret buying, I guess it would just be, and it's a harder thing because I've said, you know, I'm a game worn jersey collector, so I basically have one of every style, a game worn of every style since I've been a fan. And I guess they're not necessarily regrets to buy as much as I wish I made maybe a better decision. But, you know, when the reverse retro 1 and 2s came out, they were very expensive. And so I kind of had to try to pick, you know, I guess based on a combination of ones that I thought were not as egregious in price combined with what I thought the players could turn out to be and how long I thought they would be on the Devils for. And so, you know, if I could, with hindsight, I would probably pick different players for that if I could, but at the time they made sense. So I'm not like, I don't regret buying them. I just regret picking the player I did, if that makes sense. So, for the reverse retro 1, I bought Miles Wood game worn jersey. And for reverse retro 2, I bought Sharon Govich. So, you know, I needed one of each style. At the time, Wood he wasn't the cheapest guy, but he was far from the most expensive. He was kind of middle of the pack, but maybe a little bit closer to the cheaper. And I thought I always liked Wood. Thought he, you know, heavier, edgier, more violent, plays with an edge. Always liked Wood. And I thought he had a chance of sticking around for a while with this team. So I went with Miles Wood on the reverse retro 1. And then the reverse retro 2, I picked Sharon Govich again. I thought he was going to be a very good player. And I thought he had a chance of sticking around the Devils for a while as well. That obviously didn't pan out either. And so I don't regret buying either one because I needed one of each style game worn jersey, but I do wish, I guess I obviously picked a different player for probably both of those sets, but that's a lot easier to say now with the hindsight. Against the Devils, yeah, Avery for the villain thing, Avery is definitely towards the top. I'm trying to think. I mean, Ty Domi's up there for me. Ty Domi would be up there. Eric Lindros. I mean, him and Scott Stevens had a lot of great battles over the years. Can't remember his name. The dude that took out Scott Stevens. I don't know who that is. Ryan, Big Mac better be crushing Islanders Saturday. I hope so. Jay Snow was the Devils' most recent cup, 2003. I dropped the link in the description. Really cool video. Definitely worth watching. Yep, he's smoking a cigar. Yep, smoking a cigar, walking the back, chugging champagne. He does some interviews. Really cool video. My buddy owns that jersey. The jersey Marty's wearing in that video, my buddy has. And that, in my opinion, is the greatest Devils collectible there is. Walking around in the back. Yep. They fell off a truck. Good answer. I get it. Yeah, it's, I wish I could go back in a time machine maybe, and maybe I should have paid more money and got a different guy, but, I'm not heartbroken over it. Kings and Nucks on NHL Network in the bonus. If I get off of here in a second, maybe I'll catch some of that. What's the score? Two 2-1 Nucks. I can't stand Anderle's face. I'll never. Let's all just take a moment to reflect on last season when Brendan Smith on the same play dumped Andersley on his ass twice from hits, checked him down once, then Andersley comes after him, and then he lowered his shoulder, dropped him again, and then Andersley wanted all the smoke and dropped the gloves. And Brendan Smith just pummeled the shit out of him, and he left with his face all bleeding. What an insane sequence of events. I always liked Brendan Smith before that. You guys know I am Mr. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Brendan Smith was one of the only guys that fit those characteristics last year in a lost season, and he had no hesitation about putting it on people. And that was an amazing sequence where he literally knocked Andersley to the ice twice. Then Andersley wants to drop the gloves, and then Brendan Smith beats the shit out of him, leaving him with blood all over his visor. What an absolute legendary sequence. Yo, Holmes. Andersley infuriates me. How do you even get Marty's jersey? There's a company that gets their jerseys, and that's how the Marty jersey first got into the hands of collectors. It changed hands a couple times, and then eventually it found its way home to my buddy. You were at that game, Amagi? That's awesome. I was watching it on TV, and I was pumped. I actually so immediately after that happened, I ordered that Brendan Smith jersey. I own that Brendan Smith jersey from that game. And it's also the same jersey Brendan Smith was wearing when he broke Bedard's jaw and then fought Foligno. It was my friend's first hockey game, and she got the complete NHL experience with that one. Oh, she certainly did. What a great first NHL game to be at. Smith is on the Dallas Stars now. Yeah, Dallas. All right, wrapping up here. Anyone have anything else? What a victory for our New Jersey Devils. You love to see it. Just getting it done at home. Not the prettiest victory, but a victory nonetheless. And the boys found a way. They found a way. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anything else in closing? Tomorrow's what, Friday? So we play Saturday, Sunday? Yeah. Amagi, where are you sitting on Sunday? Which baller club are you in? How confident are you about Sunday's game? I mean, I'm not confident about any game, really. It's going to take some time for me to be like that, but they're playing really good right now. I mean, the last time we were embarrassed was over 2 weeks ago. They've been in every game, even the games they lost. The offense seems to be kind of clicking. The defense looks like it's been playing pretty good on most nights. And if we get that we need to get that power play heated up again. But Jack looks like he's coming along. Bradder's been pretty solid. And so I do think, we have a very good chance on Sunday. I really do. I like Brendan Smith a lot. He had balls, absolutely. On a team that did not have many balls, Brendan Smith had huevos, big ones. I'm sitting in section 114 with 3 friends, no balling for me. Oh, my heart goes out to you, Amagi. You'll be back in the baller spot before no time. It would have been a nightmare to lose tonight. I agree. It would have been painful. Hopefully I'll be in a club on 11:30. It's Hockey Fights Cancer night. My mom's a 5-time cancer survivor, so I want to take her to club seats. I always try to go to Hockey Fights Cancer, too. I think everyone, unfortunately, knows somebody who's been, affected by cancer in some way or another, and I always like to try to go to that game as well. And I picked up a sick in the summer, I picked up a really sick, I forget what year it's from, but a really, really nice Devils Hockey Fights Cancer jersey that I will be wearing. But that's awesome for your mom, man. I'm sure she'll love it. Has your mom ever been to a game before? Have you ever brought her to a game? Good stuff on that, Amagi. That's awesome. I'm praying Pro Stock Hockey gets Devils black purple ones, like how they got Rangers stock. I brought her to a few games. That's awesome. Is she all good now? She's good. Is it in remission? Right? That's what it is, remission. Yeah, last year they had like no merch for Hockey Fights Cancer. It was an epic fail. I wanted one of the hats. They had like nothing for it. It was a disappointment. I remember other people saying they were kind of disappointed as well. Hockey Fights Cancer could potentially be probably one of their biggest merch nights if they bothered to like stock the stuff. Some people had a really cool, I guess Fanatics, I'm looking at Fanatics has one that the one from last year was cooler, but maybe I'll just buy this one. Fanatics has one on their site now that's like gray and purple. I did like the one from last year that some people had, but I don't know where the hell they got it because there was like none in the stores. It was pretty lame. Pretty friggin' lame overall by the Devils. Palat looks better, not just saying that because he scored overall skating and causing turnovers and other teams and forechecking in deep in puck battles. But yeah, that line can be good, man. It really can. It's in remission. Last battles with breast cancer during peak pandemic sucked, to say the least. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's rough. Glad to hear she's doing better. That's a really tough situation. What's up, Mike? Refs missed so many penalties tonight. It was kind of annoying. The officiating has been pretty terrible all year. I found a Devils Hockey Fights Cancer baseball cap at a thrift store. I was super stoked. Sweet. Hope your mom is doing well. Sending prayers that she stays in remission. All right, give me 1 second now because I haven't seen it. I don't even have a visual. It's going to take me about maybe 30 seconds. I want to find that Hockey Fights Cancer jersey that I was talking about because now I'm curious to see it because I haven't seen it since I got it. I obtained a nice little mini collection in the summer. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. I need to see this jersey now. Amagi. So this is the one I found. I got in the summer. I guess this is from. I don't know what year this is from, but it's a Reebok. It's an authentic Reebok. You know, we got the little fight strap situation. Super thick and heavy. I'm not sure what year this is from. I like this one a lot. I do like the black ones too. But yeah, this is the one I'll probably be wearing to that game. I always wanted one of these from over the years and was never able to find one. Did the Devils even ever have the black ones? I can't even remember. The blacks are sweet, though. Yeah, the Reebok's a little bit of a. It's not quite vintage yet, but it's approaching. Maybe this is like from 16 or 17. I don't even know. But I like that it's primarily purple. But the black ones are sweet too, though. For sure. They had the black ones. I saw a pic of Subban wearing it. Okay. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for that. I need more jerseys like I need a hole in my head. All right, that's it, fellas. It's been a good night. Devils, big win. 5-3, beat the Canadiens. Winners of, what is that? 4 of the last 5 now. 4 of the last 5. Looking to find the elusive 3rd consecutive win on Saturday on the island against the Islanders. Hopefully they get it done. They'll be back in action on Sunday at home against the Sharks. Hopefully former Sharks players don't find a way to haunt us. I'm sure if Mackenzie Blackwood or Vitek Vanacek get the start, they will certainly look like a dominant Hall of Fame goaltender of the mid-1990s, but hopefully that is not the case. Maybe I will be back to do a live Saturday, maybe before the game. I don't know, but I think I have another cool video. It's another one that's kind of a little bit of food in it. I'm doing a video on the Hyundai Club suite review. So that'll be probably coming out maybe Saturday morning. I don't know, but it'll be coming out soon. And, I'll have another video coming tomorrow. I'll be back. You guys know I'm pretty active on this thing, but thank you all for coming out. I appreciate you all. Big Devils win. We need to see the 3rd in a row on the island. It's going to be chippy. Hopefully McDermott smashes Romanov's face in. And that's it, guys. That's it. That is it. Please hit the thumbs up if you have not already. Also, after this ends, if you could leave a comment on the actual video, I would greatly appreciate that. Seems like no one does that, but it's okay. But if you can, not in the chat, but a comment on the actual video, I would greatly appreciate that. And I'll be back soon. Great night to be a Devils fan. And that's it. That's all I got. I'm exhausted. Thank you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.